hello! Perfidious Pete here, back for a little bit more surviving Mars, in the hopes that maybe this time somebody might actually survive our little jaunt to Mars. Things didn't go so well last time when we were forced to suffocate everyone lest they die of starvation. It just seemed like the humane thing to do. Hopefully, things will go a little better this time. I've been playing a little bit of Surviving Mars off camera. I feel like I got a much better grip on what's going on with the game here, so I have better hopes for this colony. Better hopes. Let's get started, shall we? Architect, hey, what's up, bro? Welcome. Hello, hello. So let's pick ourselves a mission. The International Mars mission, I don't want to play this one because it's like super duper easy, though. You get tons of starting applicants, you get huge research, you have effectively unlimited money, and a truckload of rockets. There's really... like, the International Mars mission doesn't have a whole lot of challenge there. What did we do last time, chat? Does anybody remember? Reaver, hey, welcome to the stream. Damien, welcome to the stream. Passes Pete a meteorite umbrella. I've actually had some better luck combating the meteorites, and I also discovered meteorites not necessarily always a bad thing. They give you a ton of free science. So, you know, meteorites are 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. The current run I'm playing is actually going pretty well. I think I'm playing Europe on that one as a futurist. Europe gets a ton of research, and all of their goals are, like, research-oriented. I don't remember what we did last time. Weren't we trying to strip mine Mars? Like, we were Blue Sun Corporation, I think? We were Blue Sun. Alright, you know what? Let's see if maybe Blue Sun's second investment in a Martian society will be a little better. Europe is a very nice sponsor. I do like Europe. They're pretty good, yeah. Let's see what we've got for commander profiles. Inventor, autonomous drone hubs is decent but not fantastic. Is that all you do? Drones work faster until Sol 100. I don't like benefits that expire. I want a benefit that's going to last the entire duration of my colony, so Inventor doesn't seem that great. Bonus fuel production is not bad. Arcologies are actually very useful for Oligarch. Mostly what I use my arcologies for these days, that's where I send my old people to die. I build one kind of shitty dome, and I build an arcology in it, and then I make it flagged so that only old people can go there. And when my useless old people who refuse to fucking give up their death grip on life and are slowly eating all my resources and draining my colony, I just ship them all off to the old folks' dome and wait for the inevitable. It actually has a picture of the Reaper and a scythe printed on the side of the dome. It's like, welcome, you will never leave. Hydro Engineer, start with the water deposit revealed. That's pretty good. Domes consume 25% less water, also pretty good. Water reclamation, not that really not that good. Arcologies are also good for high production domes. Arcologies are just good in general. The only real problem with them is they have a pretty high maintenance cost, but I tend to agree. It's a good spire building. Doctor, babies are easier. STEM reconstruction. Colonist lifespan is increased. I actually researched STEM reconstruction in one of my other games, and I was not pleased with it, because all it does is make your fucking old people live longer. It's like now, it basically gives you a generation of baby boomers, a bunch of old people who just won't fucking die, but they have all the money and control all the resources, and you can't get rid of them. Old people in this game are really a problem. Like, an old person, they've got, I don't want to be firing shots at Greece here, but they do have some social and, like, welfare state issues that they're currently suffering. And old people in Surviving Mars are a lot like retired Greek people. They're like, nope, I'm 38. I want to retire with full benefits and not work anymore. Be like, dude, you're 38 years old. And they're like, well, fuck it, I'm not working. I would rather starve to death than take a shift at the hydroponic farm to grow food. It's a matter of principle. And their principles usually wind up with them fucking starving to death. Colonists recover additional 5 sanity while resting in their homes. That's pretty good. Behavioral shaping gives us the sanatorium, which lets us get rid of negative flaws for colonists. We're not going to be shipping in a lot of colonists with negative perks in an ideal situation. We're Blue Sun, a mercenary company in Mass Effect 2. I don't know. Possibly Canny Light. Yeah, they may have been. They also were the group of organized people who were chasing River Tam in the Firefly series. And considering that one of the bonuses is actually the Serenity from Firefly, my guess is the Blue Sun Corporation may be a nod to Joss Whedon's Firefly as opposed to a nod to Mass Effect 2. Although I don't see any reason also why both couldn't be true. Remember 2x2, Hands of Blue, the people chasing River? Yeah, that was also Blue Sun. Politician. Funding gains are increased by 20%. Martian patents. That's just a repeatable tech that you can do that just all it does is a tech that gives you money. What's up, Candy Light? Happy Friday to you as well. I'm glad the weekend is here. I had a shit week. Futurist is fantastic, actually. Breakthroughs are 30% faster, which is really good. But you know what I think I like better than the 30% faster breakthroughs is autonomous sensors is one of the most powerful techs in the early game. It's super good. Ecologists. Service comfort of decorations goes up by 10%. And hanging gardens is a dome. Okay, so it gives you bonus residences in dome. That's actually not bad. Everybody had a shit week, Pete, but it's over now. I like your attitude, Tactro. Astrogeologist. Start with the rare metal deposit revealed. That seems pretty good. Extractor production goes up by 10%, and we start with deep scanning. If we're gonna do Blue Sun, it seems like Astrogeologist is like the logical first choice. Rocket scientists just start with an extra rocket and CO2 jet propulsion. CO2 jet propulsion may be one of the single-handedly most useful technologies in the game, but also I've played enough now that I realize I've actually developed methods to get by without it because I've been forced to. CO2 jet propulsion and shuttle bays make the game so much more easy, just to make everything simpler. But there are strategies you can do, because I've played like 3 runs of this where I never got jet propulsion until after it was like way too late. So I was forced to develop methods to get around not having shuttles. Let's go with Astrogeologist, because it does seem like we have a pretty good synergy here. You know what? We were talking about the Serenity logo. Let's just use it. A random mystery is fine. Let's go then. Let's do this. To Mars and whatnot. So what prefab buildings are they sending me? They did not send me with the moisture evaporator, though. I'm going to need one of those. What else are they sending me? An RC transport? That's nice, but we don't necessarily need one of those right off the bat. We can ship that on our second cargo rocket. What we need is a moisture evaporator. Like, I'm not going without a moisture evaporator. No sirree, Bob. Not going to do it. We don't come with an explorer. We need drones, that's for sure. Polymers. Do I need 8 orbital probes, though? No, like, we don't need 8 orbital probes. That's way too many. The Explorer is really useful. Can we get one? We still can't get one or a transport. Man, this group has a really weird initial outlay. Let's go back. Okay, you know what? Hold on a second. Reset this. Is there a way to just reset it? There is not. So we get rid of the... They sent us without a moisture evaporator, but they sent us with an RC transport and 8 drones. You need an Explorer out the gate. You know, you don't necessarily need an Explorer. How many rockets do we have? Do we have 2? We have 2 starting rockets. Okay, we can still do this. So for our prefab buildings, we got a drone hub and a fuel refinery. Both of those things are good. This is, I guess, assuming we're going to start knowing where there's water. I don't like that.
Holy
water is
shit,
pretty
Pickles,
unpredictable.
was that a sub?
Joe XL, thanks very much for the subscription. I appreciate it. 4 months in a row. Let's get some stabbies in chat for Joe. Welcome back to the stream, by the way, Joe. I actually don't really like relying on finding water, because I've also had starts where I couldn't find any water, but the moisture evaporator is a guarantee. It always works. We don't need any factories. Stirling generators I actively dislike, because they take too much. They take electronics to maintain, and electronics are actually relatively rare and relatively difficult to come by. Let's try the default payload here. And what we'll do, I think, when our rocket arrives, we'll just immediately launch another rocket that has the other parts that we're going to want. Gotta pick a landing spot. Really all we're looking for in a landing spot's a place with a lot of metal. I don't really care about concrete as long as we have, like, initial concrete. I just want a ton of metal, though. That's really what I want. Let's find... Hey, okay, you know what? Let's do a little thing here, chat. Let's look for Olympus Mons. Like, it should be on here, right? Olympus Mons. It should be, like, in the mid-latitude, somewhere around the planet. We're looking for, like, a giant mountain with a big bulge. So there's the Marineris Valley. So, like, Olympus Mons should be here, right? Oh, dude! Who's got the best Martian geography of all time? He nails it in one swing. Dust Devils, Cold Waves. Actually, Olympus Mons is kind of a shitty place to live. I mean, the topography is rough. That's bad. We'd like something a little smoother. Can we get, like, a place near here that's relatively flat? This is not bad. A lot of dust storms. Dust storms are better than meteors. We don't really care about water. All we're really looking for is just a super abundance. We want a ton of metal, and this area is actually kind of metal poor. No, I want more metals. Where's a place I can go that has a ton of metal? Here we go. What's up here? Gonna get a lot of cold waves. Cold waves suck, though. Water towers don't work during cold waves. It's almost impossible to get water. Can you find the face of Mars? No. I mean, my Martian geography apparently is okay in that I can find literally the biggest mountain in the solar system. But that's going to be about the extent of my good stuff. Also, the face on Mars was basically just a hill. I want more metals. I don't really care about the abundance of water either. I will go with a water poor start. What's down here? You have tons of concrete and water. That's not what I want, though.
Holy shit pickles, was that a sub?
Canny Light, thanks very much for that Twitch Prime subscription. 4 months in a row of that sweet Jeff Bezos money. For 4 months, he's been making Bezos weep. You're a good man, Canny Light. You're a good man. And fiscally responsible one as well. Metal. All I want is a lot of metal. Some concrete is necessary as well for the early game, but like a super abundance of concrete turns out to be way not necessary. There's so many ways to get and manufacture concrete in a late game. The concrete deposits kind of just start getting in the way. There's low. This is maybe not quite enough concrete. Also, it seems to have like a preponderance of meteors, which I don't like. This whole area is fantastic when it comes to... I mean, this one's got max every resource right here. It's kind of not what I want. You know, I kind of liked our Olympus Mons area, actually. Good metals, dust storms. I think maybe we should go... Let's go, like, build at the base of Olympus Mons. Plus, it has the word Mons in it, which Perfidious Pete likes because it reminds him of the area around the vagina. The Mons Pubis. Technically, Olympus Mons is just the Mons Pubis of Mars. Tactraw, thanks very much for the cheer. I appreciate it. Thanks for the bits. Pokemons, Digimons. No, like the Mons Pubis. That's what I'm talking about. You know what? We're going here. We're going to Olympus Mons. This is where this is it. This is our start. So we got 150% difficulty bonus. Not a huge... I think the hardest start you can get is like 425%. Where you start as Paradox Interactive, and I think you have to land yourself on a pole. One of the poles of not like on a actual like a fence pole or flag pole. Although if you could land yourself on one, it'd be a pretty good shot. Blue Sun Corporation, we're going astrogeologist. All right, we're gonna close that. Let's get paused here until we can figure out what we've got in our initial starting area and the immediate surrounds. Also, we want to launch another rocket basically immediately. So we have 2 anomalies in our starting area. No way to exploit those anomalies at all whatsoever. We have a giant hill in the middle of our zone. That's going to be a little difficult. Alright, what have we got? Metals and concrete, metals and concrete, metals and concrete. This has metals, concrete, and water. So let's launch a probe here. I was told there would be metals, concrete, and water, and it turns out there's absolutely fuck all nothing there. Perfect. Metals, rare metals. You told me there would be water, though, and you lied. Let's see what this zone has. Okay, that one's looking pretty good. Couple anomalies. We got some surface metals. We got a little bit of concrete. This contains concrete and metals. All right, let's do it. We got rare metals out the Wazinga. This is actually a pretty good spot for our first dome right over here. So concrete, we're going to be strapped for a little bit, but we've got... Actually, can we zoom in here? Oh, this is actually real good. We've got 2 rare metal deposits and a regular metal deposit. We could flap a dome down, like, right here, and we could be taking advantage of all of that stuff. Nearby concrete, some regular loose metals on the ground. I think this is probably where we're going to put our first dome. We don't have any water. Where's the Wazinga? I don't think that's a real place. It's, you know, like the... It's... Wazinga is the feeling that you get when you punch Jim... What's that guy's name that plays Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory? Jim something? Wazinga is the feeling that you get when you punch him in the throat and leave him gasping and dying because you crushed his windpipe. That's a Wazinga. And let me tell you, it's the best feeling in the world. Jim Parsons, thank you, chat, yes. Wazinga is the feeling you get when you punch Jim Parsons in the throat and crush his windpipe, leaving him fatally injured. It's the best feeling in the universe. Really is. Tink! Hey, what's up, bro? Welcome to the stream. All right, so this is where we're going to start our initial colony then. Let's zoom in. So we want to land in a position where we can take advantage of this concrete. I really want to see... I want to, like, get a dome. I don't suppose I can pull... Oh, I can. So if we build a basic dome, can we put it in a position where we get all of these... Where we can take advantage of all of these resources simultaneously? The answer is yes. We could put a basic dome right here. And we're going to be the richest men on Mars. 2 rare metals deposits, a regular metal deposit. The only problem we have with this start is we have absolutely no water. Jim Parsons admitted he hates comic books in an interview. He probably hates science, life, and himself, too. I'm assuming he drinks himself to sleep every night. Biodome or Thunderdome, Pete? Gotta go with Thunderdome, because one of those movies did not feature Pauly Shore. So let's land our initial rocket over here. Again, water is going to be a concern, but I have strategies for starts with no water. So I think long term we're going to be pretty okay. Let's drop our initial spaceship right here. And the first thing we're going to do is just immediately launch another cargo rocket. So prefab buildings, what do we want? We want 2 moisture vaporators. Gonna need those. Fuel refinery, drone hub. We might need another drone hub as well. Hold on, did we bring a drone hub? They had to have sent us with a drone hub though, right? They definitely sent us with a drone hub. They wouldn't screw us like no drone hub. That would be a complete fuck you. So give me 2 moisture vaporators. Did they send us with a train? You know what? I gotta wait until... Shit. No, I don't want to buy a rocket though. They're expensive. Hold on a second. Land this bad boy, because I got to get this on the ground and see. I don't remember. Did we bring a transport? Plenty of drones here in chat. You know, you guys aren't drones. You're more like soldier bees. Oh, select detector research. Yeah, we should probably do that too. So what are options? Decommission protocol is pretty good. Magnetic filtering is useful. Transportation optimization is probably... Oh, is this autonomous? Oh, so good. Okay, so we're going to go autonomous sensors, then transport optimization. This is huge for us. It actually makes our RC transport much, much better. Productivity training for engineers and geologists is also actually pretty good. We'll just queue that up, although we may wind up ultimately interrupting that. Okay, so we have 1 RC transport. All right, beautiful. Let's pause very quickly. We're going to get back in. Let's get our cargo rocket off the ground. So, prefab buildings. Yes, we need some. Moisture vaporator. I need 2. RC rover, RC explorer. We need an explorer. I'd like to get a rover simply because it's the only thing that can fix our other transports and whatnot if they break down, which leaves us 20,000 kilograms of stuff. For that, I'm mostly inclined to send machine parts and electronics. Also some polymers. Let's focus mostly on machine parts, because we're going to have a difficult time building those. A couple more drones wouldn't suck either. Drones are 1,000 kilograms. We're going to use... You know what? Swap those out for electronics. This seems like an effective cargo rocket. And this is it, chat. This is all we get until we get one of these rockets back to Earth. Did RC Cola sponsor this colony? Possibly. What's wrong with RC Cola? It's the flavor sensation you didn't know you were missing in your life. right, so we got to start scanning. You know what? Hold on a second. Can we rescan? We can. Here's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to start rescanning areas we've already scanned because we have the deep scanning technology automatically unlocked. We want to get these areas scanned as quickly as possible. I wish I could cancel that, actually. Because that's going to take forever. Yeah, our scanning bonus is terrible. That's going to take... Is there a way I can undo that? I can't cancel that. So we're going to do 1... Bam, 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 bam. There we go. No, that's not what I wanted to do, though. Go back here. First things first. RC Transport. Start harvesting this metal. Where are all my drones? Okay, they're trundling off the ship. We got to build some general storage. We want our drones to unload this bad boy. Easiest way to do that is just drop down a general universal depot. They'll start unpiling the shit. I don't want to overlap the deposit, so let's put you there. Give me another universal deposit. I kind of like to make a little universal depot area just to make things simple. And we're immediately going to peg the speed. My one really staunch criticism for Surviving Mars is I wish it had a faster speed than fastest. That's my only real criticism. I would like there to be one speed higher than this. By like one more speed increment, that would be a delightful thing. Colony needs a bounce house park for the kids. We don't have... Our only children are robots and drones, Chad. I don't think our drone children need a bounce castle. Not because they wouldn't enjoy it. It's just, it seems, you know, potentially harmful for them. They have delicate machinery. I don't want them bouncing around and getting hurt. I'm a helicopter drone parent. Like to make sure my kids are well protected. Saying robots can't feel joy? Yeah, I'm kind of saying that, actually. Also true. Robots are incapable of experiencing the emotion humans know as joy. You're never too old for a bounce castle. I didn't say they were too old, Chad. I said they were too delicate. If you're a hemophiliac, you probably don't want to go bouncing around in a bounce castle. It just seems like a terrible idea. Be like, oh, my poor brittle bones have all broken. Pete, hemophilia has nothing to do with bones. Yeah, but you're going to break a bone, and when you're a hemophiliac, a broken bone is basically a death sentence. You know, if it's the 1840s. Let's drop a metal deposit here. We're going to have a super abundance of metals. We're also going to have a concrete deposit. I just actually, did I overlap? You overlap a deposit? Destroy you then. A drone actually has to go pick up this concrete slab because it won't just go away. Yeah, there we go. Let's reposition that and put it somewhere smart. So we've got 2 universal depots. Let's go metal depot. Give me a concrete depot. Bam. And you know what? Any other depot we really need to build at the moment? I'm going to go ahead and build another metal depot because we're going to have that much metal. I'm going to have our RC rover going to get metals basically as fast as I can get it to do it. So unload all that. We should also start building. Is our rocket empty? Our rocket has been fully emptied. Beautiful. All right, so rover, come over here and start harvesting that. So we need to get power online. We're going to want to build our power. I really want to wait until my other rocket arrives before I build anything, though. We're kind of wasting some daylight, admittedly. You know what we can build? Let's go ahead and build a... I'm just thinking how I want my dome set up and what I want near it. Because one of the mistakes I made early is I spread things too far out. And I've learned that you're better off to sort of condense stuff. The closer in, then the less pipes and the less cabling you have to run everywhere, the more you save on maintenance. Let's get a concrete extractor up because we're gonna have to have some concrete at some point. If we drop it here, we can get 559 concrete. That's pretty good. Let's drop that there. Tink, thanks very much for the follow. Welcome to the 9th Circle. I would have assumed you may have been following before now, but I mean, I appreciate the support nonetheless, you slacker. Let's run some cable. And we're going to keep this very simple. You know what? Let the drones actually build that before we run cable. I want to see where it's going to be. I don't want to build cable in the wrong spot. Pete, have you ever legitimately enjoyed a reality TV show? How does one illegitimately enjoy a reality TV show? Did I, like, download it from... Did I pirate it and enjoy it that way so that it wasn't legitimate? I'm confused by your question. Do you mean, have I ever enjoyed a reality TV show? I suppose we'd have to define our terms a little bit on that one. Does a scripted pseudo-reality TV show count? Because when I was younger, I do remember having a pretty strong affinity for the Real World Season 2. Puck forever, by the way. Hashtag Puck rules. Also, there's a lot of, like, reality TV shows that I don't think are terrible, too. Like, a lot of, like, home improvement shows and, like, lawn and gardening and house flipping and stuff like that. I have no particular objection to those. They're technically a form of reality TV, but mostly it's just, like, practical stuff. Be like, here's how you can make your dwelling a little nicer. I don't see any problem with that. Who wouldn't want to make their dwelling a little nicer? So let's run a cable. And your cables are built in increments of 5 tiles. So for every 5 tiles of length, it costs you 1 metal. And that's for both maintenance and construction. So I like to build my tiles in multiples of 5. Let's get some power going here. We're going to build large solar panels. I hate building them this close to the extractor, though, because it's going to get them real dirty. The dirtier they are, the more often they require maintenance. Let's branch this out a little bit. Then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Counting with Perfidious Pete. So we'll get that built, and then we can start building solar panels over here. I really got to remember about the shift key, though. So I'm going to build 4 solar panels to start, and you're like, Pete, that seems like a lot of solar panels when you're not actually using any power for anything. You're not wrong, except we're going to be immediately using power for stuff, because I'm going to hook a couple batteries onto this. And this is going to be probably the beginning of our power grid. We'll take, you know, we don't need 2 batteries for now. Probably 1 is enough. There's no reason paying maintenance on batteries we don't need. The count did it better. 1 little tile, 2 little tiles, Pretty sure most reality TV is pseudo-scripted. You're right, and I tend to enjoy that less. We're talking about shows like The Hills and things like that. Yeah, I'm not as big a fan of that. I need my second rocket to hurry up and get here, though. Come quickly to me, my rocket friend. I need a little dose of Elton John in my life, I'm not gonna lie. I want my rocket man. I'm not the man they think I am at home. We got plenty of metal here, and we have like an opportunity to get more. So the drones are over here working this pile of metal. Let's leave them to that because it gives them a job to do. Let's go find ourselves another pile of metal that's maybe a little further away. RC Transport, you still have plenty of energy. Yeah, you're fine. Come up here and grab this stuff. I'm aware that we have a building that's not working, but that's because our drones won't build the damn solar panel. Here's my other rocket. All right, other rocket. Come over here and land where you can get unloaded quickly. That'll do. There we go. Now we got a concrete extractor working. This concrete extractor is going to need a dump site. Let's go ahead and get that established. We can just throw some... let's throw these over here where we're not going to do anything else with this area. Like, there's never going to be anything else in this region, so we can just go ahead and throw some dump sites down. And all of these should be within working radius. Yeah, I just want to make sure everything's still within the working radius of our robots. Explorer, fantastic. I'm glad you're here. RC Rover, I'm glad you're here as well. Come down here and park your ass and have your drones start helping out. Explorer, I'd rather hit the unlocks before I hit the beakers. Beakers tend to be... So, there's no guarantee for any of this stuff, but keys tend to be unlocking extra technologies. The little Sherlock Holmes magnifying glasses tend to be discovering breakthroughs, and the little beakers, which we don't actually have any of at the moment, the beakers tend to be things that just straight up give you science. I wish we had a few more beakers, but alas, we do not. So let's get our Explorer working. You know what, RC Drone? Let's actually just park you on the cable so you're always charged. We found a new anomaly. Where? There's a beaker. Meep. We can go get science. That's the worst Beaker impression of all times, because Beaker didn't actually speak. He just beeped. Like, Beaker should never have words. Alright, so there we go. We've got our power up. Pete, are you going to build any... We could build a wind farm here and start this, but our wind turbines... They take polymers. We don't have a lot of polymers. I would really rather just use... I'd really rather just use metals for now. Our batteries also take polymers. It takes one polymer to maintain a battery, which is bad, but we should be able to, before we run out of polymers... New techs are available for research. What did we unlock? So we unlocked adaptive probes, which means probes are cheaper and they can deep scan. And Earth-Mars initiative. We're going to want this immediately. So transport optimization. Earth-Mars initiative is just basically you get 100 extra science per soul. It's probably the most useful early tech you can get your hands on. Then we'll queue that up. Decommission protocol is nice, but I don't really feel like we need it. Adapted probes are not terrible for us, although I'd really rather not be scanning with probes. We're going to do autonomous sensors. That's going to take care of all of our scanning needs, actually. We'll just queue that up in case we have an overflow discovery of science. So our battery should begin charging, and that should give us more than enough power to keep our concrete extractor working through the night. We have concrete, which is nice as well. So what's our next priority then? Well, first off, RC Explorer, get your ass out here and explore. Transport, are you done yet? Man, this guy is... Oh, he's full. Come bring that metal back. Come unload your metal. Dump it off here. And then when you're done with that, we'll probably have you recharge. Speaking of recharging, let's park you on this cable so that you never run out of charge. My moisture vaporators have arrived, by the way. Hey, no, RC Explorer, what are you doing? Get back out. Go in. Your purpose is to analyze anomalies, though. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna change the name of these things so I can remember what they are. RC Transport, you're a hauler. Okay, we're gonna call you Steve because we love to do this. Idor, that's your name. RC Rover, you're like an overall controlling lunatic. Let's see. Hyper obsessive control freak. We're going to call you Tony Stark. And RC Explorer 1, you're just all about going out, finding sciences, making new discovery. Well, you're Mr. Spock. Mr. Spock, go and investigate that anomaly. Thank you, Mr. Spock. So we're going to put a dome here. We need to establish our moisture vaporator system. We want to get that started early so that we can begin manufacturing fuel. Fuel's going to be super important for us. Where's our dome going to be? So we're going to put the dome, like, right here, roughly. Dome's going to be, like, right there. So what we want to do is run cables then that come this way. And then we're going to install our moisture system down here. So life support, moisture evaporators. You want moisture evaporators on your cable lines, and what you really want is you don't want your moisture evaporators to overlap. This is the area from which they collect moisture, this little hex grid. And if they overlap, they get reduced effectiveness. I kind of don't want it to work that way, though. I want my moisture evaporators to, like, wind up in a field. So where they're... like, kind of like this. Then we will take cable and run it from here to here. And then this interstitial space, we're going to fill that with, like, other things. So never fear. That'll get filled with stuff. All of this stuff should still be in range to get built of our drones as well. It is for now. That's perfect. Our two prefab buildings are built. Moisture vaporators do take a fair bit of power, which is why we overdid it with the solar panels a little bit.
We discovered unusual crystals in the remains of a meteorite.
Okay, we found $400 million.
Images of their crystalline matrix were broadcast by every major news channel on Earth.
That's actually pretty useful for us. That's a couple, like, free moisture vaporators. I'll take it. Where's Mr. Spock at? Mr. Spock? Well done, Mr. Spock. Now come and investigate whatever that is. Steve Adore, are you charged yet? Why are you not charged? You should be charging. Steve, come on, buddy. You gotta eat, pal. Our Steve Adore has anorexia. That's perfect. Do we want to build? No, I don't want... I want... This is what I want. I need pipes. I need tubes. The internet is built from a series of tubes, and I need those tubes. We do have a drone hub, which we should probably go ahead and plop down somewhere. I don't want to waste too much of its command and control area, but I also don't want it too near our concrete facilities, because it's going to make a lot of dirt. This seems reasonably okay. That will do for now. So we'll put our drone hub down there. We have it as a prefab. It also gives us extra drones to help us complete our projects. We're still working the whole life support thing. So there we found more metals. That's a deep metal deposit. That's not fantastic for us, but it's not the end of the world. I would have preferred it to not have been right in the middle of where I'm building all my other shit. So we're going to throw a water tower down. We have another prefab, which should be a fuel extractor. Yeah, we have a fuel refinery. We're going to want to get that working as well. Fuel refinery, I think we'll just put you right here.
Breakthrough discovered.
It says we don't have pipes connected, even though we do. We have pipes connected, it's just there's nothing for them to put water in, and as soon as you'll note, as soon as our tower got put together, how do you not have power? Warning, not enough power. I mean, you're on a cable grid, though. You're right on top of a cable. It has insufficient power. Right, okay. We can fix this, then. So we found zero space compute. What the hell is zero space computing? What does it do? Research Lab and Science Institute. It's an upgrade. Okay, so for some of our science buildings, this makes our science buildings give us slightly more science. I'm okay with that. What we also need to do is expand our power grid a little bit. This is also relatively easily achieved. How are we going to expand our power grid? It's simple. We're going to have to build a giant field of moisture evaporators. And since we're going to do that, what we're going to do along this cable where we have all these moisture evaporators, we're just going to, like, intersperse solar panels. We are going to need probably another battery because our battery only holds... I think one battery stores only 200 power. We're going to need more than 200 to get us through the night. So we're going to strap down one more battery. And then let's let the clock run a little bit here. Instead of the lava zone, get ready for a meteor shower. In this area we started in, chat, we're actually less likely to get meteor showers and far more likely to get dust storms. This is more of a dusty area than a stormy one. Dusty weather. Granted, it doesn't have quite the same melodic ring to it as stormy weather, but it'll do. RC Explorer, you're almost out of power. Come back and charge up, then we're going to send you out to hit another anomaly. So we have another breakthrough up here. We really need a beacon, though. I need that beaker so that I can get autonomous sensors up, because autonomous sensors will really help our scanning a huge amount. All we have to do is haul one electronic part and one metal out to the middle of nowhere, and then we can build a sensor tower and just abandon it, because they don't need power or maintenance. They just work forever, even when unattended. Current power surplus, pretty good. We're producing 50. We got a demand of 28. That gives us a surplus of 22. Sweet. That's going to go up as the sun gets higher in the sky, too. Our power production throughout the day is going to vary a little bit. So we're making fuel? We are making fuel. We should build a fuel dump. We're going to be a little careful with this fuel dump, though, because I have learned one very important thing about fuel dumps, and that is in an electrical dust storm, which we're very likely to encounter at some point. If a fuel dump gets hit by an electrical dust storm, it explodes, and when they explode, they destroy everything else that's stored on the storage with them. So, like, if you store fuel in one of these universal depots, good, yeah, it's a fuel dump. I normally call it a toilet. Yeah, well, if you put one on one of these depots, because that's the new word for it, it's like when Bitcoin people say hodl instead of hold. It's a depot now. When fuel gets hit by an electrical dust storm, though, like effectively when lightning strikes one of these depots, if it has fuel on it, the fuel explodes and destroys every other thing that's on the depot. It's very not good. So, Mr. Spock, let's have you go analyze this breakthrough. Steve Adore, what do you got going up here? There's a bunch of metal. Come and grab that. We're going to need all kinds of metal. Isn't that fuel dump right where you were planning to put your dome? We can always move it. They don't cost resources.
Vehicle battery low.
What vehicle has low power? Steve? You have low power? Really? Did you not charge? I told you to charge, bro. This guy doesn't listen to anything. Mr. Spock? Well, at least you're doing what you're told. Tony Stark never moves. He's like a stay-at-home mom. Storage depots don't actually cost resources to build, though. And if we want to move it later, all we can do, we can just blow it up. It's no big deal. Also, I'm pretty sure our dome will still fit. Yeah, if we rotate it. Like, we could still fit a dome in here. It'll be fine. We kind of want our dome to be, like, right here. The fuel depot will be nearby, but not in the way. Are we doing more Vermintide tonight? We might do a little rat smashing post-stream. Yeah, there'll probably be the post-stream shenanigans for a little bit.
Breakthrough discovered.
There we go. Multi-spiral architecture. I have never seen this breakthrough. New dome. Oval dome. Holy shit, look how much that takes to build, though. 150 concrete, 150 metal, 100 polymers. That's ridiculous. Additional space for spires. I'm assuming this is a dome that could fit 2 spires. It looks amazing. It's just the resource requirements on it are freaking hideous. They're ludicrously stupid. Okay, just for a comparison, chat. This is 150 concrete, 150 metal, and 100 polymers. Let's take a look at the basic dome. So your basic dome is 80 concrete, 20 metals, and 10 polymers. Captain Crash, thanks very much for that Twitch Prime subscription. 5 months in a row for Captain Crash. Give you 5 up high. You got it, bro. Thank you for that sweet Jeff Bezos money. Your fiscal responsibility, sir, knows no equivalent. You can select certain resources not to be stored on your universal depots. Yeah, I know. We can come over here to the depot like this and say, like, don't ever put fuel here. So we could go to, like, advanced resources and just say, like, don't put fuel on it. Which, actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, is a fantastic idea. We're just going to ban fuel. I really only want fuel stored down here at the fuel depot. They're officially depots now. That's it. It's the new verbiage. Get used to it, chat. We're saying it wrong forever. Steve Adore is recharged. Come up here and get this metal now, Steve. We need more metal. We're voracious. We need as much metal as you can bring us. So what's our next step, Pete? We really need to get our polymer factory up. We got our fuels working, which is great. I would really rather, like, you be the priority when it comes to fuel. I want this rocket to be refueled first. So we're fueling up our rockets. What we need to get started then is we need to start extracting rare metals, regular metals. I mean, we're sort of in dome territory, it kind of feels like. We need probably more moisture vaporators, though, to support a dome. In all honesty, because if we're going to build a dome, the only reason to build a dome is to put people inside the dome. People need oxygen, people need water. We have a water surplus, which is nice, but it's not big enough. We need, like, probably 2 more moisture vaporators, and we're never, ever, ever, by ourselves, going to get the research to make that feasible. Also, one other thing we should do. Let's come up to the sector scan here. I want to come over here. We're going to build an autonomous sensor over here. How much power have you got left, by the way, Mr. Spock? Enough. Come up here and research this. And while you're doing that, we're going to come over here and we're going to put down a sensor tower. Not until... We don't want to build this, though, until we get autonomous sensor towers. We actually need to wait. Never mind. We're just waiting on science. We have $6.2 billion. What if we do a little outsourcing? 200 million for 1,000. Yeah, you know what? I will do it. Because I want the automated sensor towers very quickly. I'll explore your dome, baby. I don't know as that works for a euphemism. It makes your paramour sound like she's got like a very poochy vagina. Or possibly like really puffy like area around the penis. Like a lot of fat there going. That doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like a compliment at all. Be like, hey baby, I'll explore your dome. Be like, are you saying I have fat genitals? I don't appreciate that. Don't tell me my genitals are fat. Nobody wants to hear that. Domes, then? That makes much more sense. Now we're talking about breasts. Unless your paramour happens to be a man, and in which case you're telling me he has man boobs and he may not be into that. Like if you tell me you want to explore my domes, well, I don't know. I'd own it. I'm kind of a fat dude. I'd be like, yeah, you're right. I mean, I got a pretty nice set of domes. I'm not gonna lie. Upgrade for the Stirling generator. Increase power production while open. I don't like Stirling generators, though, because they're really expensive to maintain. They take electronics. I don't like anything that takes electronics to maintain, because electronics is kind of difficult to make, kind of a pain in the ass, and kind of fucking labor-intensive. How much power you got, Mr. Spock? Probably not enough. So I want you to come over here and recharge. Steve? Where you at, bro? Also, this drone hub, I don't need this pinned to my... Unpin that. It's not like it's going anywhere. I don't need that drone hub to really do anything. Steve, are you full yet? Steve is full. Steve, come drop off your metal. Unload that. Then we'll have Steve charge up as well. And hopefully our outsourcing will get our research finished by the time Steve is back and ready to go. It's getting close. You can keep them closed and they don't cost anything to maintain.
Sector scanned.
Yeah, but they only make 10 power. I'd almost really just rather go with more solar panels. And even closed, I think they do still require maintenance, don't they? I think they just require maintenance less frequently. Steve, come recharge. I want my autonomous drones done. They're completely maintenance-free according to the tooltip. But is the tooltip correct, though? I mean, probably. Interesting. Maybe we'll try a few Stirling generators then, and just something that we keep closed. That's an intriguing idea. If they're maintenance-free as long as you never open them, they're not a bad investment. I suppose, I don't know, they're kind of expensive, though. Mr. Spock is finished. Mr. Spock, come over here and explore this anomaly, because we need that science. I know it's far away. Fortunately, traveling doesn't really take a lot of energy from your vehicles. They can drive without using a whole lot of power. It's the anomaly analysts. I cannot talk. I'm pretty sure I'm like mid-stroke here, chat. It's the anomaly analysis that really takes the bulk of their power.
Cable fault reported.
Somebody will fix it. I'm not too worried about it. Metal is the one thing we have in abundance right now. Although, actually, we got a lot of concrete, too. We could build some trivial amount of wind power, but I don't know. I just haven't had great luck with wind power. It also takes machine parts to maintain wind turbines. And I really like solar panels because all they take is metal, and metal is super abundant. Machine parts have to be manufactured or imported from Earth. They're a little more expensive. I'm not a huge fan of the wind power. They're expensive up front, but without maintenance, that eventually pays for itself. Yeah, you're not wrong, chat. Like I said, if they require no maintenance while closed, that actually makes them pretty viable. Just maybe not viable for the early game. We need to get these rockets off the ground. Are you almost fueled? You're like only halfway fueled. I would kill for the fuel compression technology that makes rockets only need 40 fuel instead of 60. That'd be very nice. And see, this point here, this is where I want a speed that's faster than fastest for stuff like this. Like, we can't really do anything for the next little bit. We're kind of at a stopping point. I just want to be able to, I want to be able to skip through this. I want this to go faster. I know what I need to do, and right now what I need to do is I'm effectively just killing time. If I'm going to be just killing time, let me kill time a little bit quicker. I like surviving Mars, not a lot of criticisms for it, but the no way to kill time faster is one of those criticisms. I suppose we could have Steve go grab some more metal while we wait for our research to finish. We don't want him sitting idle, that's pointless. Get your lazy ass out here and pick up some metal, Steve. Get my dry cleaning while you're at it, too. Also pay for it.
Research complete.
There it is. Never mind. Steve, come back. I'm sorry about the dry cleaning thing. I apologize. That was, you know what? That was uncalled for. What did we unlock? Extractor amplification is pretty good. 25% bonus for extraction. It does make your buildings cost extra power, but if we're going solar power, power's basically kind of free, especially when we're extracting metal that we can then use for it. Earth-Mars initiative, we definitely want. This basically doubles our overall research output as soon as that completes. 200 a day is still terrible, but, you know, it's half as terrible as it was before. The multi-spiral architecture, if it didn't cost 100 polymers, man, I would do that in a second. Adapted physics is interesting. Decommission protocol is actually surprisingly useful. Magnetic filtering will also help us. Let's put that in the queue. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put magnetic filtering above productivity training. I like productivity training. It's good, but magnetic filtering is probably a little more vital for us. Steve, you're coming back, right, bro? All right, good. So we're about to up our scanning game by a considerable margin here. Steve's recharged. Earth-Mars initiative finished researching. That's fine. Steve, I want you to come over here and grab some metal. Okay, 2 is actually plenty. And then come over here and grab some electronics. Yeah, you actually got... You know what? You got way too much. Get a little more metal, actually. There we go. So here's what we're going to do. Steve is going to facilitate scanning for us. Autonomous sensors. I said it's one of my favorite technologies in the game, and I was not lying. It is, in fact, one of my favorite technologies in the game. We're going to come over to this corner. We're going to build a sensor tower right there. And since we have autonomous sensors, it doesn't take us anything to get that. So all we got to do is bring Steve over here, have Steve dump off all his shit. Just be like, Steve, come over here and drop all your resources. He's going to do that. Then we grab our RC rover, Tony Stark, who's been sitting back on his laurels at the Avengers Tower not doing shit. We're going to drive Tony over here, and they're going to come build this tower for us. And once this thing is built, we're done. It's good for the rest of the game. We're getting a scanning boost on all the surrounding sectors. And this is a behavior we can repeat over and over and over again. So here comes Tony's drones. And done. Autonomous sensor is built. So Steve, grab your stuff again. We're just going to have you load resources. Boom. Grab all your shit. I really wish it would drop these on like a universal pad. So there we go. Our autonomous sensor never needs power, never needs maintenance, so it's done for the rest of the game. We're like, it's good. We don't have to do anything else to that. That's going to give us... It should give us a huge scanning bonus in these areas, but it does not appear to be giving us a bonus. Why not? It should be. Ah, here we go. Sensible towers, 346, 319, 366. We're getting a monster boost. We should go plop down another one. So we want as much overlap as possible. Let's go plop another one down, say right here. And then we just grab Steve and be like, hey, Steve, come haul your shit and drop it over here. Tony, once he's dropped it off, come and build it.
Sector scanned.
Ah, I love seeing no resources. B1, I guess we missed the battleship. Drones will go snag metal out of the back of his storage build. I think as long as there's a demand, they will snatch... I wonder if they'll snatch electronic components too. You know what? Let's test this theory. Let's see if they'll snatch components too. We'll cancel that drop order and just tell him to come over here. If the drones can take it out of the back of his bed, that's even better. Let's see if Tony stops. Will they go get him? They're going. They did it. The drones are ingenious. He doesn't even have to unload anymore. This is beautiful. That was a great tip, chat. That actually saved us a considerable amount of time. So where did we build that one? Here? We built that one here. So let's build another one, say, here? Again, these do cost us one electric component, which is not fantastic. But no maintenance. Once it's built forever. And our scanning time is going to be fantastic. Plus, the nice thing about this is we're deep scanning as well. We already have the deep scanning technology, so every place we scan is not only base scanned, it's deep scanned. We give it that deep scanning, chat. You want a little bit of deep scanning, baby? Come on over to Perfidious Pete's Mars Colony, and I'll scan you deep, baby. I'll scan you like a Barry White. Do you think Barry White had a big dong, chat? Or do you think most of his music and most of his like behavior and kind of like his whole persona, all of his image, do you think that was just carefully crafted to conceal the fact that Barry White didn't have he was like not well endowed? Do you think it was all a sham? A front? Barry White was not rocking a huge penis? It'd be the coup of a century if Barry White had just like a teeny tiny little dong. I'm sure he still got ample opportunity to employ it, so you know it's not the size that matters, right, Barry? It's not the size of the boat; it's the motion of the ocean. We're gonna unload this. Let's get our RC rover back over here. And Mr. Spock, did we just abandon you out in the middle of nowhere? Yeah, kinda. Let's bring you back back home and get you charged up as well.
Great dust storm approaching.
A great dust storm. Usually I only see electrical
Sector
dust
scan.
storms. I don't know what the difference between a great dust storm and an electrical dust storm is. This should be interesting. I do want to make sure all of my drones and whatnot are back before the great dust storm begins. What are we doing on research here? We should queue... You know, I'm tempted to queue decommission protocol. I really like it. Live from Mars is pretty good. Doubles the number of applicants we get. You know what? I am going to queue decommission protocol. It's very useful to be able to knock old buildings out of the way. Like, say, this concrete extractor, when it's done extracting, if we can knock it down, that's enormously useful for us. Sector A2 had no resources. Let's queue up some more scans here. Get a 386% bonus here. All right, get queued. Only 188 there. That's not so good. 277, 413, 394. We're going to scan these so fast with these gigantic bonuses. I love the fact that you can queue up more, that it lets you queue up more now, too. We already deep scanned that, huh? That should keep us busy in the scan department for a little bit. Rocket? He's getting close. He's 2 fuel. Oh, come on, guys. Get him loaded. You got to get him loaded so we can get him out before the dust storm strikes. We want him gone. The motion of the ocean feels very different in a rowboat than it does on a cruise ship, Pete. Damn, look at chat debunking the myth of it's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean. But wait a minute. The motion of the ocean is much more exaggerated in a small craft than it is on an ocean liner. So you kind of are making the point for the small penis there, actually, right? Like you're making the case for the not well endowed. Also, get off the ground here because this dust storm is coming, and I'm pretty sure you will not be able to lift off in a dust storm. So that rocket's going to be safely taken home. We found an anomaly. Oh, is this a great dust storm? No, it's just a dust devil. Well, I was going to send my rover out, but I don't really want to send it out into the eyes of an active tornado. That seems like a terrible idea. It's coming right for us, though, Chad. Quick, Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton, you should tie yourselves to a pipe with a belt because that will stop you from a Finger of God F5 dangerous maxi tornado. Right? If movies have taught me anything, it's all you need is a simple belt and you'll be safe forever. One belt, one pipe. Just hurl yourself into a tornado. The smaller the boat, the more work you have to do to compensate. It makes you a better sailor in the long run. Belt stop shrapnel too, Pete. I saw it in the movie. I'm telling you, there's nothing a belt can't protect you from.
Sector scanned. Except
for a Chester Bennington-style closet-based suicide. That's the one thing it can't protect. Too soon? Probably too soon. How about them sector scans, though? We're getting a little low on metal. Steve, we could kind of use you. Where you at, buddy? How come you never charge yourself, Steve? We'd like to have you go fetch some more metal, but I think we'll wait until the Great Dust Storm is over.
Complete.
Can't protect yourself. Ah, too soon. No Subnautica tonight. No Antonio Vitelli. We're playing a little bit of Surviving Mars. What did we research, and what did we unlock? We researched... What the hell did we research? Chat? Oh, transport optimization. Steve can haul more shit now. Drone swarm is super good. We're going to put it at the top of the queue, actually. Drone swarm is super good. This makes all of our drones better. David Carradine would have been the much better option, Pete. You're right. A little more distance from the David Carradine thing. Time plus tragedy equals comedy. That's the formula. Not enough time with Chester, I guess. Can we get this dust storm started so that we can get it over? That's really what I'm looking for here. Our moisture vaporators, by the way, that is one drawback for moisture vaporators. They do not work during dust storms. So you can see we got two buildings not working. That's our two moisture vaporators. Our fuel refinery should continue to work because we have a bunch of stored water, and it should continue to work off of our what we have in storage. So we're not losing fuel production or anything. Our moisture vaporators are just going to be offline for a little bit. Speaking of which, did our rocket make it back to Earth yet? It did. We need more cargo rockets. Prefab buildings, I need moisture vaporators. The other thing we're going to need, we need a polymer factory, and we're going to need a machine parts factory. Is there anything else I want to bring? How much is a Stirling generator? They're so expensive, though, chat. They're $400 million. David Carradine was kind of a really, wow, you went out like that, huh, dude? Whereas Chester was more of a tragedy. I can't in good conscience pay $400 million for a Stirling generator. I can't, Chad. No, I can't in good conscience do it. What I'm going to bring instead, more polymers, more machine parts. These are consumables that we're going to run through pretty quickly. I'm okay with... Yeah, that's fine. Launch that. Bring me more moisture vaporators. Did Chester even use a belt? I know he hung himself, but I don't know the specifics. I just made a joke that was, you know, relatively poor taste. Because that's what I do. Poor taste is my forte, chat. You guys wouldn't be here if you weren't looking for jokes that were in poor taste. We go in, we take the oil. There's no oil on Mars, though. Pete, you got to get that Mars Amazon Prime subscription. It really cuts down on the shipping and handling. We are the Blue Sun Corporation, though, chat. We're going to be the Jeff Bezoses of Mars. That's our goal. We're the men who are going to ship you your Amazon Primes. We're the first Mars-based Amazon fulfillment center. That's our whole job. We're subsidized by Jeff Bezos. Literally, because your Twitch Prime subscriptions are being subsidized by Amazon, so thank you. Matthias17, hey, welcome to the stream. 22 hours left on the Great Dust Storm. I really feel like I should be looking at like a Grant Wood painting right now, and my grandparents should be telling me how they walked uphill both ways back in the days during the Depression when everything was terrible. Have I played this game before? I have. In fact, I've streamed it before, and the last time we did it, it did not go well at all, in that we were forced to suffocate. We had to suffocate our own colonists to keep them from starving to death. That's how well things went last time. I'd watch Twitch plays Mars Curiosity Rover. That's going to end tragically for the Mars Curiosity Rover. It's just going to spin itself in circles till its battery runs dead, and then it's going to die alone, afraid and weeping on a planet far from its home birth. It's just, no, it's sad. Subsidized by Amazon, you do realize that Twitch Prime actually costs money. Yes, but typically you're not really... I mean, who's subscribing to Twitch Prime to get a free Twitch... Who's subscribing to Amazon Prime to get a free Twitch sub every month? You're subscribing to Amazon Prime because you want the things that Amazon Prime is offering, one of which is, in fact, a free Twitch sub. Technically, it's subsidized by Bezos and that streamers and whatnot get money, but Twitch is owned by Amazon, so it's kind of an incestuous subsidization.
Sector scanned.
It's like taking your sister to the prom and giving her 20 bucks afterwards for a blowy. Nobody's going to judge you, but it is a little unusual. 3 buildings that are not working. Oh, you're not working because you're full of concrete. Well, we can fix that. We'll just build another storage depot and make you put concrete in that. There you go. Watch our drones spring. Look at them snap to action. I don't subscribe to Amazon Prime. You also don't subscribe to Perfidious Pete, so I think we see a correlation there. I love Prime. I got nothing bad to say about it. 2-day shipping on all the shit I order. Amazon is losing money on Perfidious Pete, I can tell you that. So we have another rocket that's fueled. Fantastic. Oh, no, this is not fueled. It's ready to land. He brought us more moisture vaporators. I need those. Please land them. Bring me my moisture. But I was going to go to Tashi Station and pick up some power converters. Eh, too bad, you whiny bastard. Get down here and bring me my moisture. Two-day shipping alone is worth it for me. Yeah, I love my 2-day shipping.
Scanned.
Well, I mean, you know, Amazon Prime is actually, all things considered, a pretty damn good value. 2-day shipping on all your orders, which granted, their free shipping is still usually like 3 to 5 business days because they usually just ship things FedEx Smart Post. But you get like, you know, all kinds of TV shows. You get a free Twitch sub every month. I mean, the benefits for Prime are pretty damn good. It's a pretty... Amazon really does a good job of making Twitch Prime a pretty good value. They really do. Or rather, Amazon Prime, a good value. Pete shilling for Bezos now. Hashtag sellout, hashtag ad. Everything we have is just covered in a ruinous amount of dust. That Great Dust Storm really cost us a shitload of machine parts and maintenance. But on the plus side, we have more moisture vaporators now, which we can set up, and once we have these set up, then we can see about building our first dome. Alright, so our dome is going to be over in this area. We can't really put a moisture vaporator there. Can I fit one here? I can. Are my drones going to be able to reach it is the question. Yes, they can, but just barely. So let's put a moisture vaporator here. Flip you around, though, so you get a better cable connection. And remember, all along these cable connections that we're building, we're going to ultimately wind up using those as power supplies. Like, we're gonna string power along all these cable connections. Can I not? Why will you not? Why will the cable not go there, though? Deconstruct that. It's because of the uneven terrain. Right? Can I deconstruct this then? Like, deconstruct that. And it killed the entire length of cable. Interesting. There we go. So build that, and then we can string power all along it. We're also going to need to put pipes down. Let's get those built. Bump, bump. Back into the pipe hub. We should drop another vaporator. Now, you know what? 3 water is probably enough for our initial dome. How much does the dome take? I don't remember how much water do you need, dome? You only need 1, but you also need 1 for oxygen. So we need 2 for you, 1 for fuel, and then we're going to want at least... You know what? We need another vaporator. So let's put our other vaporator, say... I don't want to put it here, because then we've got overlap, and overlap is bad. But we could put it here. This does leave us a little bit of dead space, because we got some wonky shit going on with that hill. Let's just go ahead and build it here. Now, you know what? Here's better, because it's already... That way it's already on a pipe. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. I don't know. I work pretty closely with Amazon's delivery, although I will say in the US they don't use DHL, which I think is their main delivery system overseas. In Europe, I know on the continent they use DHL. I don't have a lot of experience with DHL, so I can't really speak to that. But as far as their delivery stuff in the United States, most of the Amazon Prime stuff is going to ship either FedEx... Either ships FedEx ground on rare occasion, more frequently it ships UPS ground, and most frequently it's going to ship FedEx Smart Post. We did find another... I'm surprised we have not found more anomalies. Steve, we need you to go find more metal, because we're getting a little low. Come up here and harvest this. And Steve should be able to grab all of that in one go now. Mr. Spock, let's get you out here and start working on these breakthroughs. What's DHL? DHL is a delivery service, commercial package delivery a la FedEx, UPS. They do worldwide package delivery. They're one of the main carriers in specifically like Central and Eastern Europe is kind of their bread and butter. Most of my deliveries seem to be outsourced to random drivers. It's like the Uber of package delivery. You guys are laughing about the Uber of package delivery, but one of these days, that's going to be a thing. Where package delivery will actually be outsourced to the grid. Like, somebody's going to build a program similar to Uber, where package delivery just gets turked out. And your package won't be taken by one person or carrier from one place to another. It'll be like... This package needs to go from LA to New York, and some guy who's like, well, I'm on my way to Vegas. They'll pick the package up and drive it and drop it off in Vegas, and then somebody in Vegas will pick it up. Somebody in Vegas will pick it up and drive it to, like, Flagstaff, Arizona, and then from Flagstaff, it'll link up and wind up in, like, Tulsa, Oklahoma. From Tulsa, it'll go to St. Louis. St. Louis, it's going to go to Chicago, and it'll go incrementally all along that journey until ultimately... it finally reaches its destination. It'll be a super cheap way to ship stuff, and each person who carries that package along a chunk of its journey, you'll be like, oh, well, I can make, like, you know, if I carry this box and throw it in my car while I'm driving from LA to Vegas, I can make an extra $8 that I can gamble away in one roll of the dice at the crap table. We did get a milestone for finding water on Mars. Oh, shit, we got a tornado, though. Go the other way. Don't Bill Paxton me, bro. Turn it. Turn it away. That's right. You don't want no part of this. I got to reconcile my broken relationship with Helen Hunt. Much to the chagrin and heartbreak of Jamie Gertz, who we're going to brutally dump, even though she didn't really deserve it. Jamie Gertz. Hashtag Jamie Gertz did nothing wrong, by the way, chat. Where's the love for Jamie Gertz? That's what I want to know. She already had her heart broken once by Jason Patrick, that bastard, who turned out to be a lost boy vampire. Broke her damn heart. He's gunning for me, though. Run, Rover! The tornado was following him. It's stalking him like a panther. How are we doing on waste rock over here? Yeah, we still got plenty of room. Steve, where's your metal coming? You have harvested all of it and are voracious for more. Come over here and grab this thing. Pretty sure the United States Postal Service is worse. The United States Postal Service does fantastic delivery, chat. I'm tired of hearing people badmouth the United States Postal Service. The Postal Service has great rates, provide reliable service, and can reach almost every home in America. In fact, the Postal Service is so reliable that FedEx and UPS actually use the Postal Service to deliver a lot of their packages. The stuff you're getting with the FedEx labels, a lot of that shit actually got delivered by a mail carrier. That's what FedEx Smart Post is. Stop firing shots at the U.S. Postal Service. You're just straight up wrong. They do a great job. Tired of hearing people speak ill of the U.S. Postal Service. So let's put our dome. We want both of those rare metals deposits in our dome's facility, and we also want that regular metal deposit in our dome zone. Like this seems pretty good right here. Should we rotate? Let's rotate to get our cable connections maybe a little better consolidated. This is coming from someone who ships 1,000 packages per year through the United States Postal Service. I probably ship 1,000 packages a day through the U.S. Postal Service. So if you want to talk about experience, yeah. We're scrolling over here. That's where our dome's going to go. I'm comfortable with this. Let's do it. At 98, we're all going to rotate. Actually, if the sad thing is, Chad, is ultimately this dome is going to be filled with a bunch of 98-year-old people. This dome, our first dome, this is kind of I don't want to say a strategy, but a methodology, I think is probably more accurate, that I've developed is, whatever our first dome is that we build, ultimately, it's only going to wind up being a place for old people to go to die. We really need to get low G engineering or some kind of higher population building than the basic. Something a little better than the basic living quarters. I want something that's a little higher capacity. I'd love to get the dome, the apartment buildings. They're terrible for comfort, but you can really pack a lot of people in them. Also, we're refueling 2 rockets now instead of actually just refueling 1 rocket completely. We're half-assed doing a job on 2 of them. Everybody dies at 30 on Mars. We have prefabs. What prefabs did I send? I should have sent at least a polymer factory. I did, and a machine parts factory. If we can get these 2 things up and running, each of those take like 11 people by themselves. We're also going to need some people to work at the metals extractor, and we're going to need some people to work at the rare metals extractor. I don't know if we're going to be able to cram enough people in this dome. That's going to be a bit of an issue. Steve, you got a full load of metals, buddy? Yeah, you do. Come on back here and dump that off. Which is good, because we're actually... No, that's not what I wanted Steve to do at all, though. Steve, come unload. We're actually running a little low on metal, buddy. This dome is going to be real crowded. Because I'm going to want at least 2 living quarters. Actually, I kind of want more than 2. I'd really like to get the higher capacity living quarters. I don't suppose we discovered a breakthrough or something that allows me to cram more people into a smaller space while I was gone? We absolutely did not. We are close to drone swarm, which is nice. We are going to also need a research facility in here. So we could do 2 living spaces, a research facility, 2 hydroponics farms, which I think should be enough to supply our dome with food. A machine parts factory. The polymer factory is an outside building. What else do we want to cram in this dome? Let's look at dome services. Like, we're going to need probably... We definitely need a research lab. If anybody has a kid, we'll need to build a nursery, so we should reserve space for that. I also want to build a diner, and I think a grocer are absolute musts. That'll be a good start.
Select a sector to scan.
Are you're kidding me. We finished scanning all of that shit already? Our scanners are so good, though. Our scanners are crazy awesome. There, that'll keep you busy for a while. Colonists breed like rabbits. You know, colonists don't actually, if they have a low comfort, the colonists won't breed at all. Tech and raw material supply isn't there yet, but the theory is sound. It's gonna be like fairly people based.
Oxygen shortage.
Yeah, we have an oxygen. No, we don't, because this dome is shut off. We're not having anybody live there, so. We did find water. How far away is the water? Super far away, actually. It's also of terrible quality. So there's a lot of water here, but our water extractor is going to extract it very, very slowly.
Complete.
Here's drone swarm finished. Magnetic filtering will be useful because we could use that oxygen. Where do we want to go after that? Productivity training is good. We're going to hopefully have some engineers and geologists. Decommission protocol I like. Low G drive is fantastic. It just makes the drones and rovers faster. That's a really good tech. Overcharge amplifications. Amplify upgrades grants a bigger boost to production. That's intriguing because we have an... Don't we have amplifier extraction? We do. Intriguing. That's a lot of science, though. 3,000 is a bit. More applicants would be useful, but as low as our research level is, I kind of feel like more applicants is not a thing we could queue up. The faster drones and rovers is really good. You know what? Yeah, we're going to go with that. Faster drones, faster rovers. Must have been my mistake. I made it too comfortable. If you make your drones really comfortable, yeah, people will shit out kids like crazy. But if their comfort is below, I think the default threshold, I want to say, is 50. If you keep the comfort level below 50, those colonists will never have a kid at all. They're just like, no, this world is too harsh. I can't bring another human into this environment. That would be coldly considering an act of cruelty. Just like when Nicolas Cage knocked up... What's her name? Vanessa something? Vanessa Marcille? Yeah. Just like when he knocked up Vanessa Marcille in The Rock. Like, calmly considering an act of cruelty. And then she told him she was pregnant. Suddenly he changed his tune. Wishy-washy bastard. I got no respect for you, Cage. You should have stuck to your guns.
Sector scanned.
Mr. Spock, how come you're not out here exploring these anomalies? Get your lazy ass out here and do some work. And Steve, as soon as you charge back up, we're going to have you come out here and start collecting more metal. Steve is fully charged. Go and get the metal. Don't forget to send Spock to check the anomaly. He's on the way. Probably a red shirt is going to die in the name of science, but that's what red shirts are for. Let's get a couple more dumping zones out here. Ours are getting a little full. We're going to need some dumping zones over in this area as well, because all of these extractors are also going to produce waste rock. How are we doing on fuel here? And before we send colonists, I'm actually going to want both of these fueled up and ready to work. I'm going to want both of these fueled up and back to Earth in case we need, like, an emergency supply of some variety. And speaking of emergencies, you know what? While we're doing things, we do have a little more infrastructure that we need to get built here. Let's go ahead and get started on it. So, life support. I want another water tower. I'm going to need a Moxie for certain. Where are our connections here? So, we got connections here and here. All right. Let's connect you. Grab some cables. The pipes will work too. Whatever. So just pipe straight over here. Give me a little bit of cable. Run that so we have power for our dome. That's good. You know, we're probably going to need... Actually, I say probably. We're definitely going to need more power as well, because this dome is really going to chew it up. Give me some more solar panels. Can never have too many. You have to be careful, though, because we're going to... You know what? I actually don't want to put solar panels there. Let's just string them along this. Is there a more efficient... Nope. Curious if there was, like, maybe a more efficient way to cram a few in here, but there is not. And we're going to need a few more batteries as well. Let's build some accumulators. Let's say not near the fuel depot, though, in case of fuel depot explosion. Let's build one there, and then we'll stick another one. Let's say... Actually, no. You know what? That's too far away. Cancel that. It has to be adjacent to power. Build it there. And build that there. We'll give ourselves a couple more power accumulators. We're also going to need a lot of oxygen. So, give me a Moxie. Probably one will be enough to start. Let's just put one Moxie there. We're going to want an oxygen tank for damn sure. Also, we're going to want that in a spot where it won't explode. Should the unthinkable occur. Put an oxygen tank there. I like having my oxygen generation and whatnot like right next to the tank. And then we're also going to throw in one additional water tower just for shits and giggles, too. Like, out of a super abundance of caution, I want another water tower over here. You can never have too much stored water, too much stored oxygen, or too much stored power.
Sector scanned.
Ah, that's what I like to see. No resources. It's a desolate hole. Basically, we just scanned Camden, Arkansas, chat. Pete, are you saying Camden, Arkansas is a desolate hole? Yep. If you've never been to Camden, Arkansas, go there and tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead, I challenge you. Go ahead and tell me. Tell me I'm wrong. We got to start planning our dome. I kind of don't want to build the buildings in the dome yet. Also, let's go check on Steve.
Breakthrough discovered.
Steve, you're not full of metal yet. Finish. Is that metal? Nope. That's metal, though. Go get that metal, Steve. Breakthrough discovered core water. Uncovers extremely rich underground water deposits. I mean, we got evaporators, though. We're kind of cool. Our breakthroughs have sort of been shitty. Mr. Spock, you can come back now since you're not doing anything. I want more research. Looks like Camden, Arkansas's claim to fame is a Walmart supercenter, and that's it. I'm not even sure. I mean, that Walmart supercenter probably closed. Like, it's probably gone bankrupt since then. Let's get our dome services. Let's start this out. So we don't have any advanced living quarters, and you know what? We're not going to get one. So we're just going to have to spam in 2 regular living quarters. It sucks, and it's a hugely inefficient way to use our space, but it's got to be done. Research lab takes electronics for maintenance, so I don't want to build that just yet. We are going to need some food, and all we've got right now is hydroponic farms. Hydroponic farms take a lot of water. We're also going to need 6 workers on the hydroponic farms. Man, that's... 1 hydroponic farm is not going to make enough food to feed our colony, though. We're going to need 2. So we have room for 28 workers. Right there, that's 6 of our maximum 28. Which means, effectively, we can only afford to have 1 more building in our first round of colonists, because our first rocket is only going to get us 10. And I don't want to overbuild. So our first rocket, then, we should make all botanists and scientists. And in fact, with our first rocket, like we don't even need this. Cancel that. Our first rocket's only going to hold 12 people. We only need enough space and enough items to support those 12 people. That's all we need. Let's not build stuff we can't use yet. We're going to have to wait until we get our second rocket to really take advantage. I do want a research lab, though. And then in between that research lab, we'll put... I mean, people like to exercise and shit. Small alleys. Let's just do a small garden. That gives them a little place to relax. And then we're also going to need, like, a basic service area. I really want a diner. But the diner, actually, it takes 2 people to work it. At full efficiency. What I like to do is run the diner 1 shift in the evening when not everybody else is at work. And then only run a 1-person shift. But that's still 1 person working in a diner, and we're going to need 1 person. You know what? We're going to build a grocer. The grocer will have to do initially. Maybe a park for the kids. Fuck those kids. There are no kids on Mars. I'm not allowing worthless-ass, non-working children to come to my colony. Stupid child labor laws prevent me from exploiting their tiny little fingers to reach in and turn itty-bitty screws in my factories. No. There are no kids coming to Pete's Mars. Not on my Mars, Chad. If any kids are born here because of a lapse in birth control, well, then we'll have to, deal with it. But we're not deliberately allowing them. This is Mars Pete, who says kids have rights on Mars. Well, the game won't let me make them work, Chad. I'm not allowed to pass child labor laws, or that would be the first thing I would... be the first thing I would approve as the governor of Mars. And be like, what are you doing? Child labor is legal now. I'm just going to shut this stuff. As this stuff gets built, I'm just going to turn it off until we have somebody here to take advantage of it. Because otherwise we're just wasting power and water and whatnot. There's no reason to have any of this shit working until there's somebody here to actually work it. Also, I don't know if this is true or not, but I believe buildings that are not working require less maintenance. I don't think they require no maintenance, but I do believe they require less maintenance when not actively being used. Hurry up, drones. Get this shit done. Maybe you just need the right colony backer. So what are you saying? We could have like an interstellar sweatshop here? Or like an interplanetary, I guess. Not interstellar. Interplanetary sweatshop. Hey, come on over to Mars. I'll have you making shoes. I'm pretty sure we'd like be having... We'd make them make iPhones though, right? I mean, we've got these rare metals and metals deposits. We'd be having the children make iPhones. They'd be living in a dome that was just surrounded by suicide nets. Their tiny, tiny fingers are super good at, getting those little itty-bitty components in those cell phone cases. That's why we choose children. Are we low on concrete? No. Steve, where are you at? Did you drop off your metal? You're not even full. God damn it, Steve. You're just sitting out here idle, fucking thumbing your ass. Do work, Steve. Mars is the Cambodia of space.
Sector scanned.
Yeah, once again, that whole no resources thing has me a little troubled. You know what's going to happen, chat? All of the actual resources are going to be on this plateau. I can already guarantee you this place is going to be festooned with resources. And there is there a way? Can we might be able to drive up there. This rocket is ready for takeoff. Get the hell out of here then. Are you empty? You're empty. Beat it then. All of our resources are going to be up here. I can already feel it. Maybe when Steve gets back, we take Steve and our RC Explorer and we drive them out there and have them throw a scanning tower out there. We have one building that's not working. Yeah, well, we'll fix that. Now it ain't working either. We should also probably send at least a small amount of food to the colony with our first rack of colonists. Are you almost fueled? Hurry up and fuel. We have fuel that's just sitting idle. Why is no drone picking up the fuel and hauling it up there? We have 700 stored power. Our power demand is 35 per hour. So we have way more than enough power to get through the night. You would need a tunnel. I think a tunnel would work, chat. You're not wrong. We could tunnel up there. But tunnels take a shitload of machine parts. And I think we could actually just drive a rover up here
Sector scanned.
Because this little area looks like there was a little area that looked rampable. Was there not one area that looked like maybe it was a little ramp? Maybe I'm out of my damn mind. I'm probably out of my damn mind. Now that I look closer, that's probably not drivable. We found a research anomaly. Mr. Spock, go. We need research more than we need anything else. Steve, are you recharged? Where the hell is Steve? Steve, what the hell are you doing? Did I not tell you to come drop off your metal? I'm telling you, Steve Adore here is the new Grady Bryant. Be like, sorry, Pete, dropping off metals, not on the work order. I think it's probably time we get our first load of colonists then. Another minor gripe with this game, the pathfinding AI is pretty atrocious. I will agree with that. The pathfinding AI is not good. Don't they come with 100 food on the ship? They come with some food on the ship. Not 100. That's way, way more food than they actually launch with. But yes, they do come. They will bring a little bit of food. I think they bring enough food for them to live like 2 souls or something. Basically, they bring enough food for long enough for you to... They bring enough food for themselves to survive long enough for you to produce actual food. And then they go right to starving. But that's okay. We'll, when we starve our colonists, we can start marketing it as the Mars diet. Be like, oh, you want to try the Mars diet? It's great. It's definitely not at all just starving yourself. This is a plant.
Sector scanned.
Found a new anomaly. What did we find? Oh, more science, though. That's great. We love science. Science equal good.
Research complete.
And
Anomaly
we completed
analyzed.
research. So we got magnetic filtering, which is good. And you know what? If we do this, it takes 5 polymers. Does it change our maintenance at all, though? You know what? Yeah, do it. I know it takes 5 polymers, but it gives us extra oxygen. We're going to need it. It also helps keep our water consumption lower. We split water into make that oxygen. This allows us to get more oxygen without upping our overall water demand. And since all of our water is currently coming from moisture evaporators, that's a pretty good deal for us. Let me hit this research if you would. And what are we currently researching here? Productivity training. I'm comfortable with letting that finish. And you know what? I'm going to do low G drive before I do decommission protocol, even though it's more science. No, nope. I really wish I had not built both of those hydroponics farms. Low G fungi is so much better. Yep. What did those hydroponics farms take to build? Please tell me I didn't use anything valuable like a polymer. Where the hell is the hydroponics farm? Oh, it's under... I always forget it's under life support. Yeah, I used... Alright, that's shitty. I actually used 4 polymers. I'm going to break those. These are getting busted. If we salvage them now, we might be able to get back... Well, we're going to get back half of... You know what? It's worth it. You're gone. Also, you are gone. Gotta eat them shrooms, Pete. Maybe we don't cancel both of them. Maybe we leave... No, you know what? I want them both gone. It's fine. Give me back 2 of my polymers. Effectively, I wasted 2 polymers, and we are low on polymers and electronics. We could start to build polymers here once we get people to come live in our colony, which will be nice. How close are you to fueled? Very close. Before I send colonists, I think I'm actually going to send another supply rocket. We have a good store of machine parts, but we need electronics and polymers. They're very expensive. How do you get oval domes? We got to do there's a breakthrough that we can research in order to get that. But it costs 100 polymers to build one of those domes. I unqueued all my shit, though. Perfect. Like, we definitely wasted some research there. That was genius, Pete. Soil adaptation, which allows us to build farms. Oh, suddenly we get all of the farming technology. You know what? Eat my butt. Mars crowdfunding is actually not terrible. It just gives us $1 billion. Research decommission protocol. After that, do extractor amplification. You know what? Do live from Mars, actually. Then do extractor amplification. Steve, you're still harvesting? Good. Tony, you're not doing anything. We out of anomalies? We are. Come back to base, then. Charge it back up, Spock. How did you get oval domes? It's just a breakthrough. What did we find? More breakthroughs. I mean, that's nice, but this rocket needs to leave. Be gone. We do get a lot of bonus money if we get a truckload of bonus money for exporting rare metals. Like, we get more money for rare metals than most bonuses because that's our thing, strip mine and Mars. That's what we're good at. We came to strip mine. Let's get another cargo rocket on the way. Do we need any prefab buildings? That's the question. The only one we might consider... We already have a polymer factory. We already have a machine parts factory. I'm not going to worry about electronics factories because they take 1 billion people. Don't want a stirring generator. A second fuel refinery is tempting, but I don't think we need it yet. I am going to bring one more moisture vaporator. I know we have one on the ground. Just in case, I like to have a spare. We don't really need another drone hub yet. And then the rest of this, I think, is just going to be... We're going to bring a little bit of food. Food is not expensive, but it takes up a shitload of space. Let's bring in, like, 10... We'll bring in 15 food. Then the rest of this has got to go to polymers and electronics. Electronics are stupidly expensive. I'd really rather have... We're going to use more polymers than electronics. Like, electronics are so expensive, though. I don't want to go below $2 billion either. Maybe send a few machine... No, I want more polymers. Polymers are not that expensive. And this is theoretically like the last time we'll have to send polymers. Let's send a few backup machine parts. How much is a probe? I'm not paying 100 million for a probe. How much is a drone? 30 million. I will buy more of those. I hate sending rockets with empty space. You know what? We can't make drones yet. That's fine. Send me extra drones. That leaves us $2.35 billion. That's pretty good. More transports? No, we definitely don't need more transports. Like, the one transport is probably more than enough, really. With the enhanced capacity...
Vehicle battery low.
One transport is usually plenty. He is on low battery. All right, Steve, come on back, buddy. I don't want you running out of power. You can go rescue a drone with another drone. You send them out and they share their power. Come unload that metal and then get recharged. Like, we could send Tony Stark out to rescue him if we needed to. But I'd really rather he just come back. And as soon as our other rocket makes it back to Earth, we're going to immediately launch it with colonists. More transporter films? No, I mean, I think the world has probably had its fill of those. I saw the Transporter 3. Which transporter film was the one where... Chev Chelios? Or was Chev Chelios Crank? Chev Chelios was Crank. I don't remember what the name of the transporter in the transporter was. But which transporter film is it where he does like a side barrel roll with his sweet BMW and uses a crane that's suspended over like a port facility to rip the bottom, like rips a bomb off the bottom of his car with a hanging, whichever one that was, that's where we hit like maximum absurdity. That's where I checked out of the Transporter franchise. That was 2, which is easily the worst of the 3. Steve, what are you doing? On your way back. Mr. Spock, what are you doing? Charging. We're going to let you charge before we send you out. We found 2 new anomalies. That's beautiful. Oh, wow, we got anomalies at the butthole up here. So give me the research anomaly first, then we'll hit the breakthrough anomalies. Steve, are you back yet? Man, Steve is getting dangerously low on power. No, that's good pathing, Steve. Go the longest possible way when you're low on energy. In fact, you know what, Steve? Go straight to charge, actually. I don't want you to even risk not being able to unload. Charge your shit up. Dropping off the metal can wait. Talk like you've never suffered through a Fast and Furious before, Pete. I've suffered through many a Fast and Furious, but you know what? I checked out on 6, I think, was the last Fast and Furious film I ever saw, and like probably the last one I ever will see. They've gotten too ridiculous. When people can just leap out of a car that's going 100 miles an hour and land without being injured on the windshield of another car coming at them at roughly the same speed, you know what? That's where your physics have gone from just movie physics to a kind of insultingly stupid physics. And it challenges my suspension of disbelief to the point where I just can't abide it anymore. I'd be like, this is too stupid. I'll suspend disbelief for you, movie. I love suspending disbelief. It's what I live for, but even this is egregious. Like, I can suspend it, but I can only suspend it so far. You've gone too far. You broke it off, and now the handle's stuck in my rectum, and I'm going to have to go have a physician pull it out. And that's going to be a difficult conversation to have with an ER doc. Be like, Pete, how did you get the handle for the Fast and Furious 7 stuck in your ass? Be like, you know what, doc? You kind of don't want to know. Also, what Vin Diesel and I do in our private time is none of your business, sir. Alright, the Hyperion is in orbit. Come and land. And drop off your goodies.
Sector scanned.
And our other
analyzed.
rocket... Okay, that got us 1,000 science. No, I don't want Tony Stark. I want Mr. Spock. Mr. Spock, hit this bad boy. I assume your doctor would only want to know for medical reasons. Do you have the problem that you can't easily tell which rocks are mineable by your rover and which aren't? Yeah, I mean, a lot of the rocks look similar. Like, this could be mineable, but I can tell you that it's not. Basically, the only real way to find out is actually to click on them. Like, these are mineable rocks. The mineable rocks tend to have a very slightly shinier texture, but depending on the time of day, it can be a little difficult to tell, yeah. Also, this is cool. We paused it so our rocket is suspended midair. That's actually kind of neat.
Dust storm approaching.
Oh, good. So you brought a bunch of new drones. What the hell are they doing? Like, they should be unloading you. We need those polymers and electronics. Alright, we have a much safer buffer now. Well, they're not going to arrive before the dust storm does. I don't want to launch the passenger rocket till the dust storm is over or will be over before they can arrive. So we're going to have to cool our heels on that one a minute. I don't think the spaceship will be able to land during a dust storm, and I don't want my passengers stranded in orbit. I know they can live for a little while in orbit before you bring them down, but I don't like risking it. Also, Mr. Spock, can you finish all of those anomalies and get back in time? You know what? It's not going to matter. You're not going to have enough power to do all that. We're going to have you analyze this anomaly and then just come home. You won't be able to get that third one without running out of power. If I can suspend disbelief enough to watch anime and yet your movie still insults me, you've gone too far. Yeah, that's about where the Fast and Furious is.
Vehicle battery low.
I'd say that's a pretty astute analysis. Be like, you know, One Punch Man is a little on the absurdist side, but it's still not as bad as this runway that this plane is taking off of in Fast and Furious 6 that, by my math, is roughly 700 miles long. Because they've been doing a car chase against this plane, which is going about 100 miles an hour, and this is like a 25-minute scene. This runway's what, 84 miles in length? Idle extractors. So our concrete extractor finally extracted itself right the hell out of business. Yep. We don't have decommission protocol yet, do we? No, but it's on the list. We'll get it soon enough. Also, we have a pretty hefty stockpile of concrete right now, don't we? Yeah, we have 431 idle concrete. I'm okay with this being... This could chill for a while. That's fine. What building is not working? Well, it's the same one. We have scanned all of these sectors already? Our scanning power is phenomenal, though. Come here, baby. I'll scan your ass. I'm like a chainsaw. I'll scan your ass raw. And if my day keeps going this way, I just might find an anomaly tonight. Give me something to analyze. I waxed a little too Fred Durst there. I may have overdursted. I don't think Mr. Spock's going to make it back in One Piece. One Punch Man is so damn funny. I actually did not like One Punch Man even a little. One Punch Man is a phenomenal idea, terribly executed. It could have been fantastic. It could have been really good, like groundbreakingly good, and instead it was just kind of stupid. It's such a good idea. But you know me, chat, like I hate wasted potential. That's one of the things that I find... I would rather watch a movie that's just objectively bad than a movie that's bad but could have been good. With, like, some minor changes. Maybe not even just good, maybe excellent. I'd rather watch one that's just bad from start to finish. We're going to be bringing colonists soon. Don't you need to replace those food buildings? Well, we're going to build a fungal farm. It's just fungal farms take electronics, but the maintenance on a fungal farm is only 1 metal, which is why I like them. I suppose we could go ahead and build that now. Where on our dome do you hook up? Right there. Okay, so let's go. The fungal farm we could actually build easily while the colonists are in transit, too. That's the other thing. Our colonists still got a while to get here. But if it'll make you feel better, sure. Normally, I'm kind of in the habit of doing just-in-time construction. Because we build this now, we're actually paying maintenance on it until it starts getting used, which kind of sucks. Decommissioner. What did we unlock? Oh, yes. Explore AI robotics is huge. I don't want to put it in front of decommissioning protocol, but I do want to put it in front of literally everything else, because that gives us a third more science. That takes us from 200 a day to 300 a day, which doesn't sound like much, but as bad as our research is, it's actually pretty significant. Give me Live from Mars. Crowdfunding wouldn't be terrible at this point. Research lab and institute giving us more. We don't have a research lab, but we will have a science institute? That's tempting. We don't want core water for certain. Overcharge amplification is interesting. Honestly, I think we should just go with extractor overcharge, probably more. Mars crowdfunding. We should save that one until we're desperate for cash. If we get to a point where we really, really need that $1 billion, at 300 research per soul in 5 days, we could get Mars crowdfunding. So I don't hate that one. And soil adaptation is, you know, we can wait. We may discover something that's a little more useful in the meantime.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
See, for instance, we just found a new anomaly. What did we find? It's actually just raw research, which honestly are the anomalies that we need to be finding more of. We found a shitload of rare metals and metal. I don't want to send any of our rovers out, though. In fact, Steve, I need you to come back, buddy, because that dust storm is about to start, and I don't want you out in it. Or at least I don't want you away from the base when it happens. Not that we couldn't have Tony Stark come rescue you, but let's face it, if Tony Stark has to haul your ass out of the fire one time, you're never going to hear the end of it. He's going to just keep bringing it back over and over and over. The guy never lets anything go. Doesn't matter how many times you save his life in return, it's always going to be, oh yeah, remember the time you were trapped in Asgard there and I had to fix the Bifrost for you with my Tony Stark skills? Yeah, remember that, Thor? You'd be like, you know, my dad built the Rainbow Bridge. And Tony's like, yeah, but who fixed it? He's never going to let you live it down. You don't want to be in the hole of Tony Stark. Plus, I got to assume the guy has, like, great collection agencies working at his disposal. You don't want to owe that guy anything. You know, some real flesh-eating lawyers come and try to collect on that shit.
Sector scanned.
All right, the dust storm has begun. Let's go park all of our rovers over here. We have 2 buildings not working. Those are going to be... Our oxygen generation does not work. That's one of the... You know, we really need to build another backup oxygen tank, though, it occurs to me. If dust storms are going to be frequent, and from the looks of things, they're going to be frequent, we really need another oxygen tank to help fill the gap. We may even need another Moxie. This can be switched off, though. 22 hours for the dust storm to finish. As soon as, okay, we also need to adjust. You know what? Let's preemptively adjust our shifts. This is something we can do while we wait. 3 scientists working here. That's fine. I don't have decommission protocol yet, so I can't bust these completely. It's okay if they hang out for a little while. That's fine. It's not that big. It's not the end of the world. What else do we want to build in here? So we're going to have 12 colonists coming. 6 of them are going to be working in the fungal farm to produce food. 3 of them are going to be working in the research laboratory. We got 1 person, you know what, possibly 2 people working in the grocery store. We would have potentially 1 extra person to do something. What do we want that something to be? I want to overproduce food early, actually. We need to start getting extractors going. So we're going to want maybe a geologist. Because I'm going to want one of these rare metals being extracted, and I'm also going to want one of these regular metals being extracted. Although the rare metals are a higher priority than the regular metals. We're going to need another dome service, or our people are going to be furious. You know what we should build? We should build a diner. Yep, that's it. We're going to build a diner. You know what? Let's wait on the diner, though, until we get decommissioning protocol finished, and we can bust down these old hydroponic farms. Why do I have a water shortage? Oh, right, because it's a dust storm. That's why, Pete. Moisture vaporator's not working. Dust storm. Right. White. Twoo. White. Mr. Spock, let's get you out to analyze this anomaly so we can get that research finished. Where was the research anomaly? Up here. This is the one we want to hit. Start with that one. Steve, let's get you out and gathering metals again. This is harvestable? Yes. Now that the dust storm is over, I think it's time. Passenger rocket. Let's do this. Get a donate and you can't on a smartphone. Actually, if you're on YouTube, Hotaru, I have donations and all that stuff turned off on YouTube. Also, I'm not a partner anymore since the YouTube changes. So, like, if you're looking for that, kind of got to... Twitch is the only game in town. Bring 2 ships of people at once. That's a lovely idea, Command Post, but you can't actually do that. When you launch your first cargo rocket or your first passenger rocket, they give you a 10-day cooldown where you can't send any more colonists. You gotta, like, put yourself through a proving period to show that your colony is sustainable and that not everybody's gonna get shipped to Mars to die gasping on the surface. There are 2 ways to get around that. You can either wait 10 souls, or if your people have a baby before the 10 days is up, that immediately cancels it. So if you bring colonists to be like, bow, chicka, bow, wow, immediately, then you can get around it. But let's start looking at colonists. So no fucking old people, no children. You know what? I'm saying no to middle-aged people as well. I want only young people in my colony. Specialization, we should like to focus them. We definitely want botanists, as many as we can get. Also, you know what? We're going to encourage scientists. And I think we will also encourage geologists. I don't care what sex they are. I don't really care about perks. Flaws, some of these we're going to want to ban. I don't want anybody who's lazy. Nobody with a chronic condition, no idiots. We already have hypochondriacs excluded for another reason, although, you know what? I'm just going to say no to that. Don't care about I don't care about gluttons, don't really care about gamblers, don't really care about alcoholics. Come on down to Perfidious Pete's Dome, where we have the best zero-tolerance detox program in the solar system because we don't have liquor. So if you're an alcoholic and you come to my planet, you literally can't indulge in your behavior because we don't make it here. We take teetotaling to a whole new level. Not only is it banned, there's literally not any on the planet. Are there any other flaws we want to get rid of? I actually don't really care about Coward. Loner, Melancholiac kinda sucks. That's probably fine. And quirks, as long as we don't have any, I don't want any tourists. Anything else, don't mind about the vegans. Gurus are actually good. They spread their traits to other people. That'll do. Launch them. 12 passengers on board, but there's space for 0 new residents in a colony. Launch them anyway. I'm creating space homeless. Woohoo! It's the future, chat. It's the future. Space homeless are us. Actually, they won't be homeless as soon as we turn that building on. Mr. Spock, I really need you to analyze that anomaly, though, so I can decommission these other busted-ass domes. Like those hydroponic farms that I accidentally and foolishly built. I say that, but at the time, the hydroponics farms were the right choice. It's just we immediately then discovered researches. Pete, humans can make alcohol out of anything. No liquors. Unsubbed, unfollowed.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
Just getting a sip of water there. This anomaly is, I mean, there. We're not going to prioritize it. What building is not working? Oh, this thing. You know what? Go ahead and, like, salvage that. That'll give you drones something to do while we wait. And also it gets rid of the annoying building not working message, which I'm a fan of. You know, the first building I think we're going to build is a polymer factory. How are we doing on resources? We have 45 polymers, 35 electronics. We're okay for now. 57 machine parts.
Research complete. Anomaly analyzed.
So there's our decommission protocol finished. Beautiful. We're halfway through Explorer AI. That's just another 100 research a day. That's really good. Advanced Martian engines. Rockets and shuttles require less fuel. We absolutely want that. In fact, not only do we want it, we want to prioritize it. Not over Explorer AI robotics, because we're going to get advanced fuel faster if we have the extra research. But we do definitely want that. We also want Live from Mars. And I think extractor amplification is still fine. Let's go ahead and queue up a 5th thing. We want the extra $1 billion now? I don't think we need it yet. We could go with overcharge amplification, but that's 3,000 science. That's going to take an eternity. Soil adaptation might be useful if we decide to build a new dome. You know what? Let's do zero space computing, because that also gives us more research. Found that I went through polymers like water. A lot of it depends on what buildings you have. Like if you're using a lot of wind power and you have the upgraded wind turbines, they take polymers. They do use quite a bit of them. Are you ready to take off already? He's empty. Ready to launch. All right, get the hell out of here then. Apparently we stockpiled a lot of fuel while we were waiting on you. How many drones can our... There's one malfunctioning drone. I think he got killed in a blast when the shuttle took off. He has 16 drones and can control up to 100. Yeah, we're probably sorted then. So, decommission protocol is finished. Let's get rid of you. And we're going to implode that. And we're also going to implode this. Speaking of which, how we doing on concrete, by the way? What's our stockpot? We have plenty of concrete. All right. Good. Fungal farm, you got to come online. You got to come online. Grocer, you got to just like turn all the shit on. Was that a meteor? That was in fact a meteor. And also we should probably just turn the dome itself on. Because the dome needs maintenance and a lot of these buildings need maintenance. We're going to want them in working order when our stupid colonists arrive. Let's adjust our shifts. 6 people on the first shift. I'm comfortable with that. What do you got? 3 people on the first shift. I'm comfortable with that. The grocer? I don't want anybody on first shift. You can only shop late at night. Otherwise, your asses better fucking be at work, colonists. We don't need anybody working on the first shift because all of you are already employed elsewhere at the time. Am I right? I damn well better be right. Welcome to your new dome, by the way. It's a hellhole. There's nothing for you to do here but toil in the fungus mines.
Founders have set foot on the Red Planet.
Yeah, it's a great day unless you're one of those founders, in which case it's going to be the introduction to your new shitty life. The 2 things you can do are shop for food, which consists exclusively of fungus mined from the fungus mine. And the other thing you can do is mine fungus in the fungus mines. Congratulations. Pete is not supporting a colonist healthy work-life balance. Goddamn, seriously, I'm stroking out. Let's see who we got for colonists. You know me, I always got to look at my colonists. We have Madison Anderson, who is an officer. We got a medic. We did get a geologist. We have 1 botanist, 2 botanists, a geologist, okay, a scientist. Good. Please tell me I got at least 3 scientists. A botanist, a scientist, no more scientists though. Geologist. Perfect. So do we name them or not? You're so inspirational, Pete. I just, you know, I'm a realist. I want my... Why do you have a $sign over your head? Oh, he's a celebrity. It's Clyde Jackson, son of Samuel L. Jackson. Into the dome. Find yourselves, you know, some employment. I'm assuming the celebrity should work at the grocery store. That just makes sense. The drones are coming over here to harvest all of the food. Yep, they're going to empty this rocket out too. Sweet. Looks like some of them are already packing it full of fuel. That's good. We want it gone. Should we build a polymer factory? Like, let's see how... Okay, so our scientists... We have all scientists working at the science facility, giving us daily research. Excellent. The fungal farm is full. The grocer is being worked. We have 1 unemployed colonist, right? We need 1 job for somebody. Somebody needs a job. Well, I'm okay with building a diner, because that will help keep our colonists much happier. Build a diner, and we will run 1 shift at the diner. Once that's built, 1 shift. Which one's Grady? I don't know. We brought Grady in on our last run, and it did not really go that well, Chad. I'm not sure we should double down on the Grady Bryant thing. It ended tragically for us the first time. Also, we're going to start using a lot more concrete, so maybe it's time for us to build a new extractor. I kind of feel like it's time for us to build a new concrete extractor, actually. I don't want to run out of concrete. 440, 498, 504. You know, the 498 is... That's fine. Can we cable over this hole? Can. There we go. Build that cable.
Sector scanned.
We have
Select
so
the
much
sector to
concrete
scan.
just piled up, though. What building is not working? Oh, the concrete extractor. Right. Mr. Spock broke! You know, Spock, I warned you. I told you that you didn't want to have this happen, and then what do? You go and have this happen. Now I gotta send Tony Stark to come rescue your ass, and you're never gonna live it down, son. Never. Welcome to being haunted by Tony Stark for all eternity. I told you it was going to happen, but you didn't listen. You didn't listen. It's your own damn fault. So what we really need is more people. Oh, we gotta adjust. Okay. So we only have one. Oh, God. Like, everybody immediately went to work at the diner? No. No, no, no. One of our scientists stopped working at the scientist facility. Homer Simpson? Well, that's just, I mean, sort of appropriate then, right? Homer Simpson, scientist. And what did he do? This is the perfect thing for Homer. He stopped working as a scientist and got a job working in a fucking diner. Because you know it's important for our diner to be fully staffed 24 hours a day. Get this shit out of here. Close this, and Homer, you're fired. I want you doing science shit. Get out of here. Go back to working into science. Did he come? The fucker came right back. We already have 3 scientists. Okay, that's acceptable then, Homer. If you're picking up a shift at the diner... Alright, I'm okay with that. If you're picking up a shift at the diner because the... That's fine. He's a nuclear technician. It's pronounced nuclear, Pete. Does he serve steamed hams? Almost certainly, Chet. So we're making 3.6 food per day. I want to look at our food production versus food consumption. It says we're producing 4 food per day, but that can't literally be right. It says we're producing 4 per day and eating 0. Somebody explain that to me. Our colonists don't eat food. They subsist off background radiation from the Big Bang. All patched up? All patched up. Good. Tony? Your job here is done, and now you're welcome to ridicule that man for, like, the next rest of his natural life. In the meantime, you have enough power to explore 1 anomaly, not 2. Come do that one. Steve, what are you doing? Still grabbing metal? Actually, Steve has a full load of metal. Bring that metal back to base and dump it off, Steve. And now we're waiting for our founder stage thing to go away. We could build an infirmary and try to encourage our colonists to get making with the beast with 2 backs. If we get them to bump uglies a little more, we could probably get rid of that bonus earlier. But I'm actually okay with waiting the 10 days. If nothing else, it lets us build up a bigger food stockpile. In case we're underproducing a little when the next batch of colonists arrive. I really want higher density dwellings. I need like the arcology or... These quarters are very comfortable, which makes our colonists' morale and whatnot be high, but we really, really, really need something that holds more people. We're going to have to pack a lot of people into these domes to work our extractors in our polymer factory. And ultimately, we're also going to really need a machine parts factory, too. And potentially the idea of buying more rockets is not a bad idea either. Although we would need more fuel production in order to subsidize the rockets, too. Steve dropped off his metal. Let's let him recharge. How's Mr. Spock doing out here? You almost done? Pretty close to done. He may not have enough power to make it back. You don't want to have Tony Stark come rescue you twice in the same day, though, bro. One of those things is like he's never going to let you down. The other thing is he's just going to humiliate you forever.
Anomaly analyzed.
You better get back quick before you run out of juice. New text available.
Pipe leak reported.
What building is not working? Oh, this is not working because it's full of concrete. You know what? That's the one acceptable reason for it to not be working. I suppose we could build it. Oh, here, fine. Just do this. Just build another concrete storage. We're actually, like, the place is lousy with concrete. We have a power shortage. Only because it's nighttime. How much power are we using? 63 per hour. How much power do we have stored? About 600. So we have not enough power, actually. It's a good thing we looked at that. We're going to need to... I think we have adequate battery capacity. But what we don't have is adequate charging. I don't think our batteries are getting fully recharged with our new demand. So let's build a couple more solar panels just to make sure that our batteries are being fully charged. And honestly, we might even build one more. You know what? Let's build one more accumulator as well. Just to make sure the power situation stays top shelf. Nothing pisses colonists off more than being out of power. More water and more oxygen. I think we're good. Yeah. Our oxygen demand is fine. Like, we have almost 200 stored oxygen, which is the most we can store. Well, I suppose we could use... Yeah, you're right. We may need another Moxie. Which means we're going to need more... We have plenty of water. We are going to need another Moxie, though. Yeah, we don't have enough oxygen. Okay. Explorer AI. Beautiful. That's huge. It's an extra 100 science a day, which doesn't sound like much, but it makes a difference. Supportive community is nice. Martian education, eh. Systematic training is pretty good. That gives our scientists and botanists bonus performance. It is 2,000 research, though. We could finally build drone hubs. Rover command AI, I mean, that's nice, but it's not anything that's going to be critical. We barely use our rover command. It's effectively a rescue vehicle already. Advanced Martian engines we definitely want. That's going to let us move rockets back and forth faster. I think we do want to prioritize systematic training. Anything we can do to give ourselves a research boost, we kind of want to do. We suck at research. Ideally, I think we're supposed to be... Mostly our research is supposed to come from outsourcing, because we're supposed to be like a really high-income colony. But we haven't exactly got the infrastructure for the high-income thing working yet, so... We need extractors pulling rare metals out. That's how we make all our money. We do need more oxygen. Let's get another Moxie. I'm just going to stick it in here next to all the rest of this stuff. Do I want to put... I don't want to put it right near the fuel depot, though. What if that depot explodes? Let's stick it in here instead. What do you take for maintenance, Moxie? Just 2 metal? Okay, that's good. Steve? How come you're not out? Speaking of metal. Come on, Steve. You're supposed to be hard. You're supposed to be metal, man. Telling me you're getting soft, Steve? You letting the people of this colony turn you soft? You're supposed to be metal, man. Metal to the core. What are we scanning? Are we scanning nothing? We have nothing scanning. I'm like kind of a shitty colony administrator. We have no real bonuses there. We actually have pretty good bonuses on these tiles. I'm okay with letting that stuff roll. Ideally, we would find more anomalies, but if we're scanning the top of this cliff, it doesn't matter if we find anomalies because we can't get up there.
Cable fault reported.
And I'm not building a tunnel to get up there just yet. We may eventually build a tunnel to get us up there. Right now, though, it's a little premature. Suddenly I have an oxygen surplus. That's because I built more Moxies. Also, just before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this Moxie. I know it takes a lot of polymers, but ideally we're going to be producing polymers relatively shortly. How you doing on fuel? Almost done. Where are the hordes of Xenos? We have plenty of water. Okay, I just want to make sure we have ample water supply. We're good for water. In fact, we're overproducing, and we have the ability to produce more water if we need to, because I have two moisture vaporator prefabs just chilling. I usually keep extra of those in case one gets destroyed by a meteor or something, because you gotta have water. It fuels everything. What we could use maybe is another fuel refinery. If we're going to be sending a lot of rockets back and forth to Earth, It's not a terrible idea. Just being able to instantly refuel our rockets would be nice. Also, some of that fuel is going to go... Some of that fuel is going to go into polymer production as well once we get more people. I don't hate that idea. I don't suppose we have another fuel? No. We would have to send a prefab. We could do a cargo rocket. Kind of want to wait. Why is Clyde Jackson? Is it because he's a celebrity? It must be because he's a celebrity. He's visiting the diner, by the way. Our overstaffed diner. He's hanging out with Homer Simpson.
Holy shit pickles, was that a sub?
Protagonist, thanks very much for the subscription. 9 months in a row. Protagonist is a Twitch baby. He's the twitchiest of babies. Protagonist, the first sub. Let's get some stabbies in chat. Welcome to the stream, Protagonist. Good to see you back, man. Thanks very much for the subscription as well. Got a little sector scan. We're waiting for 6 days. And see, again, we're in a scenario where Pete would like a faster than fastest speed. Because really, we're just sitting here. Although, if you're playing solo, this is kind of, like, soothing. It's just kind of got a nice little zen vibe. You're just sitting here watching your colony exist. Watching them live their tiny little lives. How come their lives are small? I don't know. They're probably not. Homer Simpson lives large. Faster than fastest, though. Be nice. Out of metal? Let me get this metal. Are we? We're out of anomalies, right? No, we got this up here. Mr. Spock, go forth and scan. Tony Stark, just, keep doing whatever it is that you do. Right now, what you do is fuck all. Talk about an idle billionaire playboy who's just sitting there chilling on a power cable. Babies grow up to kill their parents. Oh, good. Somebody's finally going to put me out of my misery. Thanks. I'm glad it was you, Protagonist. I'm glad it was you. It'll be like when Wesley killed his dad in Wanted. Alright. Get the hell out of here, spaceship. No, I said get the hell out of here, though. Were you not listening? Beat it. Seriously, though, scram.
Cable fault reported. Sector scanned.
More metal? More metal. You gotta be more metal, Steve. 5 days till we can bring more colonists. If we're gonna drop another scanning tower, I feel like we should probably drop one, say, over here. When Steve gets back, maybe we'll take, I think we'll take Steve and Tony out and have them build a couple more towers for us. Just so we can maintain our scanning radius. Right, Steve is full. Steve, come on back and drop off that metal. How are we doing on metal? We actually have a pretty respectable supply. I think we'll build our scanning tower, let's say, here. Yeah, it's too far from a working drone commander. Well, don't worry about it. Yeah, that's where I want it. Now we just gotta wait for Steve to get back, charge up a little bit, grab some resources as well. Are our colonists happy? Colonists, how do you feel? Their average comfort is 57. Not high enough for babies, but, respectable. Their average sanity is 81, average morale 63. So they're not doing fantastic, they're doing okay, though.
It takes more than bravery to be a pioneer of the Martian frontier. Or at least it should.
All right, Arakello Bruno has become a coward. Well, I guess courage is finite then. He ran out of it. I don't know, I'd probably live in a state of terror if I was forced to live in a colony run by me. It'd only be a matter of time. It'd be like it's only a matter of time before Pete lets us down and everybody dies. Though. We're all gonna, we're fucking doomed. This guy's an idiot. Who is letting him run this colony? Who put him in charge of this? Elon Musk, you have failed us.
Anomaly analyzed.
And we would like Steve. You know what, Steve? Come charge up a little bit. You're a little low. Got some new tech. What did we unlock? We have been getting really, really unlucky with our new technology stuff. Emergency training? Oh boy, security officers and medics are better. Hooray. Hydroscopic vaporators actually is really good, though. That's going in the queue. So it wasn't all bad. This increases the output of our water vaporators by an extra 50%, so it's kind of awesome. Especially since all of our water is produced from vaporators. It's going to be pretty good for us. 4 days to more colonists. You done charging, Steve? Good. Come and load some resources.
Sector scanned.
Get some electronics. Not too many. And then also grab some metal. Again, not too many. It's good. And then why don't you drive your happy ass out here and build this tower. Tony Stark, go with him. Are we out of anomalies? We are 100% out of anomalies. They are all scanned. Mr. Spock, return to your station. Wait for an away mission or something. Also, I don't really need this sad man pinned to my bar. Clyde Jackson, how come you look so sad, dog? Look at him. He looks like somebody just ran over his dog. Cheer up, dog. I don't want to rename him. I just want to unpin it. I'm tired of having him look at me with his horrific, weepy stare. Matthias, hey, have a good night, man. We'll see you. Thanks for stopping by. I'm tired of looking at that sad man. Get a real, like, Skinner kind of vibe. You're like, oh, wait, that was Reverend Lovejoy. If you look out the left side of the car, you will see a sad man. If we're going to send more people, we also need more houses. Let's go ahead and get those started. I really wish we had some kind of upgraded residence, though. I really, really wish we could fit more people in this dome.
Vehicle battery low.
Which vehicle is a low battery? Well, Mr. Spock. Tell me his battery is low right as he drives up to a power cable. Speaking of which, is that built? It is built. Good. And then I would like you guys to come over here and build another one. I'd really like to see what, like, the optimal placement, like the overall map-wide optimal placement of all of these things is. Be like, what's the best possible way to deploy these for maximum coverage and overlap? It'd be nice if we knew exactly how they work so we could calculate it. Be like, you should put them here, 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 and here, and for your investment of resources, this will get you the greatest return and scanning speed. It's got to be a soluble equation. And build. Hey, do you got any more electronics? You know what? While we're out here and while we have electronics, let's do another one, actually. Driving doesn't really take a whole lot of juice, so to hell with it. I'll build one over here, too.
Dust storm approaching.
Okay, like, build this and then immediately drive home, though, because we got a dust storm coming back, and that's real bad. That is one thing that kind of blows for us about being in, like, a dust storm prevalent region. When all of our water is produced by moisture evaporators, we're going to have to go 2 days. That's really good. Systemic training. That's a nice pick for us. That gave us a huge research boost. We got almost 100 extra research a day out of that. Wow. That's super helpful. General training. Colonists without the proper specialization suffer a lower work penalty. That's also really good. I don't think it's a priority at the moment, though. You know what? I want zero space computing. We got to ramp up our research here. Tony and the drones. Grab those electronics and metal out of the back there. Build us a new autonomous sensor. And now get your asses home, because there's a dust storm a-coming. Hosh, there's a dust storm coming. We gotta get little Joe and get back to the Ponderosa. What'll Hop Sing do if the... I was trying to think of some force that would have attacked the Ponderosa. Like, who were the antagonists in Bonanza? Was there like a family of bad guy farmers that routinely attacked him? Where was the conflict in Ponderosa? I guess the name of the show was Bonanza, Pete. The name of the ranch was the Ponderosa. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. So we're actually pretty well overproducing food. We're only consuming 1 food a day, and we're producing 3. Our colonists really are on the Mars diet. We're using 5.7 maintenance in metals per day. That's a lot. Especially considering we don't have any sort of maintenance. For our next round of buildings, we got to get a rare metals extractor working, and we got to get a polymer factory working. Those are the 2 things we want. And I think between those 2 things, that's going to eat up like our full batch of colonists, I believe. We should also maybe consider building some more amenities. Like, we should have maybe 1 or 2 colonists left over that we could have staff some variety of amenity building. Tony Stark, I was going to say, why aren't you charging? I guess you won't charge until all of your drones are fully unloaded. Death Storm starts in 1.2 souls. I don't want to build those buildings until the colonists actually arrive. So we got a 2 and a... Okay, alright. We can't really do anything. This is, again, where we need a faster than fastest speed. I need to go faster than as fast as possible. Down in the 200s, 306, 297, 442, I mean, we're just gonna 400, 387. Oh, okay, so I guess we can only queue up 10. The maximum number of queues, I thought they just made it unlimited, but there is still a limit. You can only queue up 10 sector scans. 10 is probably enough. Faster than fastest, though. We need to go. Oh,
Sector
Steve,
scanned.
you need to not be idle, though. Drop off whatever you are still hauling, because it looks like you have an electronic in the back. And then you got to go get more metal, because we're using like 7 a day, and our actual metal net without you harvesting is a big fat whopping 0. Although that will leave him out in the middle of a dust storm. It'll be fine. I'm sure Steve will be okay. If not, it's Tony Stark to the rescue and just 1 more notch on his hero belt. Do we need anything from a cargo perspective, chat? We have a machine parts factory, which is good. One of these slots in this is going to that machine parts factory. The polymer factory actually is outside the dome. So the only other prefab we might want to send is another fuel refinery, and I think we do need to do that. There are really no other prefabs we would need to send. So the only other things we might be shipping to Mars if we do another cargo rocket would be polymers, electronics, and machine parts. That's really all we'd be shipping in. But once we start extracting rare metals, a cargo vessel would be a good trip for us too, because then we can load that bad boy up with exports and start hauling them back.
Anomaly found.
We don't have time to get out there and back before the dust storm. In fact, Steve, I'm going to give you till about the 12-hour mark, and then your ass is coming back to base. I don't want you stranded out here in the middle of a dust storm. It just seems like a terrible idea. Actually, he may be done by then. Like, Steve's making a pretty good pace on this metal here. He's really vacuuming it up. He's cramming metal in his face faster than Lindsay Lohan can cram in fistfuls of Vicodin.
Research complete.
And that's fast. Advanced Martian engines is great. That means less fuel required for our round trips. Steve is full. Come unload that. So we finished Advanced Martian engines. We have a building that's not working. What building is not working? Oh, is it our concrete factory? It's full again. Jeez, this concrete, man. You know what? I'm just going to shut you off, concrete extractor. Like, we don't need you on. We have to have we have 620 stockpiled concrete. That's fucking plenty. Eve's on his way back. Mr. Spock should just be all right. Everybody else is idling. Gonna wait for the dust storm to pass. And it feels like we should launch a cargo rocket. We can't do a passenger rocket yet, but that's fine. We have 2 rockets available. So prefab buildings, I want another fuel refinery. They are expensive and heavy. And then I want electronics. I want machine parts. And polymers. I really don't want to spend any more money. We have $680 million, which is basically enough to buy us 1 emergency something. That's good, actually. We're going to launch with that. We'll send a little bit of empty space to Mars. Metal extractors, we actually don't need prefabs for metal extractors. You can just build those. What anomalies did we find? Well, none of them are research, but potential new breakthroughs. Potential new breakthroughs that we can't really research, but what are you going to do? We need more people. That's what we need. We actually need more space inside this freaking dome. That's what we need. Like the ability to build an apartment complex or something. What new research did we unlock? We should have unlocked something, because we did a research. Ah. There it is, right there. Low G high rise. It's 1500 research. If we bumped it up above extractor amplification and outsourced once, we could get it very quickly. You know what? No. We'll put it in the queue. We already built the small buildings. I don't want to replace them with a bigger building. I think they just cost metal and concrete, though, don't they? Like, the construction for that, actually, the construction for that might be just concrete. I don't want to build an apartment building until we have a reliable supply of polymers, because they're too expensive to import, especially when they're as easy to make as they are. Let's just let it roll. We still have not extracted a single rare metal from this shit dump planet.
It's a rough life here on Mars. You can't prepare for addiction.
How did Carla Bruder possibly become an alcoholic on Mars? There's no booze on the entire planet. She managed to somehow get addicted to a thing that doesn't exist here? Man, that's next level alcoholism right there. That's John Bradford level alcoholism. So there goes our oxygen generation. Water, oxygen, it's all out. Are we going to have an oxygen problem? We're using 3 an hour. And we have 200 roughly stored. Yeah, we're going to have an oxygen problem. No, never mind. We're fine. We're okay. We're okay. We're going to burn through about half of our stored oxygen, which sort of sucks, but at the end of the day, we're still going to be fine. Nobody's going to suffocate. Our water demand is 2.5 per hour. We have plenty of stored water, although I may build another oxygen tank, and I may build another Water tower, just as like an in-case scenario. Power may be the real problem we have, because our power production is also reduced during dust storms. We build, like, we make less power, generate less power during dust storms as well. Maybe let's whack in a couple more solar panels here. Can't build there because it's uneven terrain. All right, well, what about there?
Found.
What anomaly did we find? Research? Oh, yeah. We love the research anomaly. It's so good. I bet she's hoarding fungus and making bathtub gin with it. That would be like John Bradford-esque levels. You're right. Pete, when was the last time you went to the zoo? Well, St. Louis Zoo is actually supposed to be like one of the top 5 zoos in America. And it's free. And I've lived here for like 20 years and I've never been. Not even a single time. I've never been to the St. Louis Zoo. I think the last time I went to a zoo, I may have been in 1st grade when we went to the Kansas City Zoo on a field trip. I'm pretty sure that's the last time I've been to the zoo. By all reports, however, the St. Louis Zoo is fantastic.
This will go down in history.
Serious adventure ahead of us. Yep, we finally did it. Go to the zoo. No. Chat, eat my butt. I'm not going to the zoo. 10-year-old me thought the St. Louis Zoo was pretty cool. The St. Louis Zoo, like I said, I think it's maybe like rated as the 5th or 6th best zoo in America. It's pretty good. I've never been, because what am I going to do with the fucking zoo? If I want to look at animals... Oh, we can't land because there's a dust storm. That's fine. What am I going to do at the zoo? Take your niece and nephew. They'll have a blast. They've been to the St. Louis Zoo, actually. My mom and dad took them. I did take my niece and nephew to the Science Center. We had a really good time there. The City Museum and the Science Center and stuff, I've done that, but I don't really like zoos. Like, they're hot and they're smelly and they're outside. It's just, no. I'd rather go somewhere more fun. Send me a passenger rocket. There are probably Dippin' Dots at the zoo. They do have Dippin' Dots at the St. Louis Science Center, though, yeah. Science Center is excellent. I can, from firsthand experience, wholeheartedly endorse the St. Louis Science Center. It is fantastic. Let's get some more people. Age group restrictions, those are going to remain the same. We only want youths and young adults. No middle-aged people, no seniors. We are going to have to change our specializations a little bit because we don't want scientists. Engineers we would take. And no specialists we would take. I mean, I'd like to have some of these guys, but we don't have any available. What do I want to forbid? I mean, I actively don't want scientists. Or do I? You know what? I have no preference on the science thing. I want engineers and unspecialized people. I'd like to get more geologists, but apparently they're all, like, old or feeble or some shit. I'd rather have healthy, unspecialized colonists. It says I have 16 matching, but this... It's gonna send me scientists, though, isn't it? And possibly a medic. That's fine. Just, I don't care. Launch it. St. Louis Zoo is ranked 4th best in the country by Google. Well, there you go. The last thing I can remember, like the last big piece of news I can remember about the St. Louis Zoo is when they first built the cheetah exhibit that they have at the St. Louis Zoo, and the cheetahs got out and were just like sort of walking around the zoo, chilling. They didn't hurt anybody or like maul a toddler or anything, but the cheetah enclosure basically had like a 4-foot ditch that separated it from the rest of the zoo. And when they turned the cheetahs loose in the new cheetah enclosure, they just jumped over the ditch and started wandering around. Because it turns out like a 4-foot ditch is not big enough to contain a cheetah. Did they try to eat Cheetos? No, but they did eat a coolie named Cheeto. It was his first day on the job. He was stoked to have gotten the new position as the St. Louis Zoo hot dog vendor. And 5 minutes into his first shift, he was devoured by a rampaging cheetah. Rampaging cheetah just doesn't work in a sentence, does it? Cheetahs don't really seem like the kind of animal that rampages. They're too cool, man. They're too laid back. Cheetahs are chill. They're not going on a rampage. You could be like, hey, cheetah, you want to go on a rampage? Be like, nah, dog, it's too much work. Takes a lot of effort to rampage, yo. Why don't we just, you know, maybe go maul a hot dog vendor? It'll be fine. I don't want to rampage. That's a lot of effort. Couldn't we chill, Paige? Just like, you know, tone it down a little? Oh, come over here. Is that not a harvestable metal? Okay, what about this? Am I not on the right vehicle? Yeah, that's why, because it's Mr. Spock. Oh, Steve, you're not charged up. That's why. Charge yourself. I mean, I know you unloaded metal recently, but charge up. Tony ain't doing shit. This storm really needs to go. Arab oil tycoons and princes typically keep cheetahs as pets. They're fairly chill. They're the fawns of the cat family. Does that mean they can start a jukebox just by, like, hitting it with the side of their fist?
Sector scanned.
They're really only threatening to small animals. Yeah, tell that to those gazelles I've seen them rip apart
Fault reported.
on Discovery. I don't think they're only dangerous to small animals. They may be, like, extra dangerous to small animals, but only may be an exaggeration. Steve, come grab this metal. And which one of you is a cargo rocket? You are a cargo rocket. All right. I want you. Also, this thing has our extra fuel refinery. You land over here. Colonists are almost ready to land. Somebody fix that cable so that alert goes away. I'm just tired of looking at it. Here come our new colonists. When they land, we're going to have to check and see what we got. Who'd we get? Here they come.
New colonists
Okay,
have
who is
arrived.
this man? Are you a botanist? He's a scientist. I think this guy's going straight to a shift at his new job. He's not even going in the dome. He's like, gotta get to work, dog. Gotta get to work. So we have a scientist, an unspecialized adult. This person is sexy, though. Got a Doris Trenton party animal. You know, if I met a woman named Doris Trenton, that would definitely be the first thing I would assume. It'd be like, you know what, Doris? She sounds like a party animal. Pearl Presley. Ying Kwok. He was a workaholic nerd. Nerd! Got ourselves Mark Bernard, engineer. A loner gamer nerd. Holy shit, it's Perfidious Pete. Nerd, loner, gamer. I feel your pain, Mark. Also, you're going to be very unhappy in our colony because it's really crowded and there are no video games at all. Irma Simpson, hippie. Claire Benedict, workaholic cheerleader. Wait a minute. Wasn't Claire Benedict actually the name of the cheerleader from Heroes? Wasn't her name actually Claire Benedict? I'm pretty sure her name was Claire Benedict. Chat, Google for me. Claire Bennett. Damn, you're right, chat. Okay, not Benedict, it was Bennett. You're right. We were close. Where is this man going? Colleen Grant went straight to work on the fungus farm. She got off the shuttle and is like, well, gotta start making that fungus, Pete. That's my kind of dame right there. Speaking of production, we're going to get a polymer factory up and running. Where are my pipe outputs? That'll do. Okay. So polymer factory, you're going to go here. Then we'll cable this up. And we're going to pipe it up as well. We got to get our other fuel refinery up and running. We need a spot to stick it. It doesn't really... I mean, we'd like it ideally to be near our fuel depot, so that the drones got a little less work on their hands. Can we make it fit? We can make it fit. That'll do. Just plop it in there. We're also going to need to keep an eye on our power consumption, because we just did increase it quite a bit. As I recall, the polymer factory takes a lot of power. In fact, we should maybe branch out.
Complete. Anomaly analyzed.
Right, so we got Live from Mars taken care of. That gives us a bunch more applicants, like a little too late, but better late than never. Eve, how you doing on that metal? Yeah, you're still working on it. Mr. Spock, while you're out here and you have power, you want to hit up a couple of these other anomalies for us? Thanks, bro. Get this polymer factory constructed, though, because I want to assign people to work in it. Also, the other thing we got to do, we got to get a rare metals extractor functioning. I need to see the dome's footprint. Right, so rare metals extractor goes there. Rare metals are going to be our jam. And we also are going to need to make a rare metals deposit as well. Rare metals depot.
Just snapped.
Mental breakdown. Ah, Araceli Bruno. Yep, alright, well, I mean, that's troubling, I guess. Worst case scenario, he gets earthsick and goes home. Stops loading down our colony with his shitty ass. Yeah, I called you a load. Also, this is a fucking prefab. This thing should have been built almost instantly. Game needs a marijuana dispensary. We gotta assign shifts. Alright, we've already got... Man, people just immediately started working in here. You guys... Alright. We're producing 2.5 polymers per day. How many are we gonna consume? No, I don't want to...
Sector scanned.
Okay, so we're using 0.6 per day in maintenance, and in our current output, we're going to produce almost 4 times that. I'm totally comfortable with that. Hyperion, what is it that you want? Oh, you're refueled. Do we want to have you gather exports? Do we want to have you wait for exports? Rare metals take a while. You know what? We should leave one of these on the ground, actually. I am gonna have you wait. Go ahead and wait. This one, the Hyperion 2, as soon as you're fueled, though, like, I want you out of here. How many unemployed colonists do we have? Stop clicking on that. So in this dome, we have 4 unemployed colonists. We need to give those colonists something to do. How many scientists do we have? We might do a second shift. If we have enough scientists, we might try and do a second shift at the research lab. Although we do need, you know what? We need something to upgrade the happiness of our people. We have a diner. You know what? Now that we're making polymers, I'm tempted to build... You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm building an art workshop. We're generating polymers now. An art workshop shouldn't be... It provides 2 needs that we don't have. I think we get, like, luxury and something else from that. Luxury and shopping, I believe.
More to the barren environment.
There's more to the barren environment, blah, blah, blah. What did we on Martian patents? It's just a way for us to trade research for money. We're never going to do that. The Martian Institute of Science generates research faster than a research lab. Which is great, but like the 7,000 research it takes to unlock it is prohibitively expensive, though. And low G turbines for wind generators that we actually are not using at all. I'm okay with the way our current research layout is set. Steve, you got to bring back metal, though. You got to be Johnny on the spot with the metal, because right now, you are literally our only source of metal. It's all on you, Steve. The whole colony is relying on you to not let us down. A fuel depot? We have... Our fuel depot's fine. The second fuel... We're actually probably going to be over-generating fuel for a little while. We may be overdoing it a bit. How are we doing on water and food? Oxygen, we have plenty. Water, we could use... Didn't we get an upgrade for our water? Or is that still in the works? Hydroscopic vaporators is still in the works. That's fine. We can wait. I was thinking about plopping down another one, but if we can just upgrade the ones we have, that's better.
Sector scanned. Select a sector to scan.
How we've already scanned all those sectors already? Our scanning is so fast. How many unemployed people have we got? We have 24. Yeah, but how many of them are unemployed, though? That's what I want to know. How many unemployed colonists do we have? None. All of our colonists have jobs. We got to get some people working on that extractor, though.
Research complete.
So we should have just, like, here. I don't... We're at the point where our bonuses are so huge, I don't even give a shit what order we scan these in. It's fine. Anything down in that corner is going to be done very quickly. Did you pick up? Okay. They picked up folks. So we have nobody who is unemployed. You're still fully staffed. You're still fully staffed. The research center, you need to be fully staffed, though. Like, I will close a shift in a diner. If you're a scientist, yeah, you're fucking fired, though. Get the fuck out of here. Go do science shit. Clyde Jackson, sad man, you can come in here and work in that. That's fine. We'll have one person in the art building. Scientists better be fucking sciencing. Nope. Okay, she came over. I was gonna be furious. Got some people working in the extractor? We do. We have one vacant work slot. We have a whole shitload of disabled workshops. Oh, we have one person who's already middle-aged, though. Nobody wants any children. Our birth threshold is 70? Jesus, we're never going to have a kid, though. Which is fine, because we don't really have anywhere for him to live anyway. More colonists. We only have room for 4 more colonists, so 4 more colonists. I'm not really inclined to bring more for now.
Sector scanned.
We're going to need to consider, like, you don't have an infirmary. Yeah, if we build an infirmary, that actually will lower. Who's going to work it? We probably have a medic somewhere, but... Speaking of this, hey, Mr. Spock, what are you doing? Not a damn thing. Actually, you should come back and get charged up. Your battery's almost dead. Steve, you unloaded your metal? That's nice. Charge up. Are you charging? You're charging. Okay, we're beautiful. Charging. Build a zoo and put the children in there. So our goal is to export 100 rare metals by Sol 100. How many are we producing? 2.3 per day. So at 2.3 per day, we have about 60 days. We could do that. We could do that. We're actually on pace to do that. That's good. I am pleased with the way our Blue Sun Colony Corporation is actually working right now. It's way better than our last colony that was almost instantly leveled by meteors. We're doing fairly well here. If putting kids in a zoo doesn't raise your birth rate, I don't know what will. I mean, I guess we should probably try and get some children to be born. We're going to need somebody to replace the old people. Let's put in an infirmary. And also, we should probably wrap up the stream. I just noticed we're, like, at a time. Let's let the infirmary finish building first. How's our research doing over here? Hydroscopic vaporators I really want. What did we unlock? Subsurface heating. We don't really have cold snaps here, so that's not super necessary. Soil adaptation. Farms have some benefits, but mostly I just want to unlock some other stuff in this tree. And I really want to unlock the low G high-rise. We need a high-density building where we can stick our old people. I'm really concerned about the scourge of the oldsters. They will wreck your colony. If you get to an area where, like, all your people are seniors, they will let themselves starve. Oh, shit, we're also eating more food than we're producing. Our food production is at 4. Our consumption is at 5. That's not good. We really need to fix our food problem before we go any... You know what? Some folks are going to have to work a second shift. We're going to have to... No, I don't...
Sector scanned.
This building operates on a single shift. Huh. I can't make it work more than one shift, huh? Oh, good. Everybody went to work at the hospital. Yeah, let's not do that, though. I have an infirmary. I want it open only during midday, and then only I want it half-staffed. Like, half-staffed at midday. That's it. The rest of you guys get back and start growing food. Building not working. But I shut their shift off. Oh, it's because they probably don't have an employee. They don't have an employee. Okay, we'll raise the priority of the infirmary so that when it's on, it gets one person there. We have an issue with food, though, in that we're not producing as much as we are eating. We're going to need more food production. One of these 2 slots has to be reserved for a machine parts factory. It has to be done. All the food facilities work that way. You can only put 1 shift in them. Can we build farms yet? If we can build a farm yet, I'm going to put a farm in here. Are we researching farms? We're going to have to bump soil adaptation up. Then low G high rise. What was behind that? I already forgot. Zero space computing, right. We're not going to starve to death. We have actually, you know, I should think about this rationally. The food production thing is not a huge problem. We're making 4 food and we're eating 5, but we have 50 food stockpiled. So at a -1 food deficit per day, we actually have 50 days worth of food. We have 50 souls worth of food here. I may be overreacting a little bit by trying to just instantly build a farm. We can run a deficit for a little while if we have to. That's fine. Just don't panic, Pete. Just stay calm. Everything's going to be okay. You're not gathering exports. I don't need both of my rockets on the ground. In fact, in case of emergency, I should prefer to not have both of my rockets on the ground. So why don't you get the fuck out of here? This one we want gathering exports. There's 180 million in cash right there just waiting for us. How's our power look? I have not checked our power in a while. I want to make sure we're still hitting peak storage capacity with our power at the end of every day. I want to make sure our storage batteries are full when we're done.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
Be a research anomaly. God damn it. We just can't catch a break. I mean, we're getting tons of breakthroughs, I guess, which is, like, specifically is a break. In fact, like, by definition of the word. I would really like more just grants raw research anomalies, though, because that's sort of what we need. We need research much more than we need more technologies that we can't research.
Cable fault reported.
One of the drones will fix it, I'm sure. We could bring in 4 more people. That is more mouths to feed, though. Alright, our stored power is still hitting peak at the end of the day, which means we have plenty of power. We actually have a huge power surplus every hour of daylight. And our power demand of 74, we're right about the borderline of what we can sustain, though. Like, our power batteries are going to be fully charged at the end of every day, which is great. But also, we're going to be running through most of our stored power every night. Shouldn't there be Teslas on Mars? Yeah, all the rovers are electrically powered. I mean, Elon Musk didn't... He's not going to spend... Elon is not going to send a non-electric car into space. I mean, come on. Where's the marketing advantage to be having in spending a not
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
electric car?
There's more to the barren environs.
Battery optimization is really good. What else did we unlock? Stirling generator. We could build our own, but it's the whole I take 6 electronics to generate that I really don't like. That would help us out in our night. Okay. That would help us out overnight. We do have an overnight deficit. A couple Stirling generators would go a long way into negating some of that. Especially considering we have the plutonium synthesis thing going here. That only increases their power while opened, and honestly, I would be disinclined to ever open them and cause them to take maintenance. I'm going to say no to that. In fact, I'm going to queue up Mars crowdfunding just for an extra $1 billion. Although money should stop being an issue for us relatively soon. Once we start doing those exports, we should be able to fund ourselves pretty reliably. We still have more than enough concrete. I'm not turning that concrete extractor on until we start running low. We would like to get regular metals. We need some kind of spire building. We don't have anything we can build in a spire. I do like that finding Elon Musk car in space is an event mod you can add to Stellaris. That's pretty cool. It should be in Kerbal Space Program too. The new KSP mod should have a mission to go retrieve Elon Musk's car from orbit. You should have to dock with Elon's car and bring it back. 2.2 rare metals per day. Still pretty good. How are we doing on exports over here? All right, $150 million worth of rare metal. We're just going to let that chill. And also, I think we're just going to wrap up the stream. I'm looking at the old clock. We've been going a good while. This colony is going much better than our last one. I mean, is it perfect? By no means. Is it better? Absolutely. We're not self-sustaining yet, but we're pretty close.
Research complete.
If we could get a place... Ooh, hello, hydroscopic vaporators. You know what? Upgrade all of those. That's going to cost us a bunch of polymers, but we're producing more polymers than we're using. We're making 3 a day. We're making 3 a day. We're paying 0.7 in maintenance, and we're consuming 1 at our luxury art facility. We'll be fine upgrading the vaporators. It also requires us not to make more, so that's a good overall upgrade. We're not self-sustaining yet. Once we get a machine parts factory, I would be close enough to declaring us self-sustaining. But that'll have to happen on a later stream, and we will be streaming more Surviving Mars because I really like this game. There were a bunch of great games that came out in the month of March.
Achieved.
March was a strong month for video games. Into the Breach. Probably your mileage may vary a little bit on this one with Sea of Thieves, but I really like it. Vermintide came out this month. There have been a bunch of great, and I honestly still think my favorite game of the month may still be Surviving Mars. I think I've probably played more of this and had more of like a relaxing zen good time with Surviving Mars than anything else I played. It's a good game, just genuinely good. We stream every Wednesday and Friday, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. Central Time. If you want to come hang out. If you're on the East Coast, that means we're here from 8 to 11. If you're on the West Coast, we're here 5 to 8. If you're in Mountain Time, your parents don't love you and they're disappointed in you on a daily basis because you refuse to do your own math. You can also check me out on YouTube, youtube.com/Perfidious Pete. New videos there every single day. That's it for this evening, though. Everybody have a great weekend. We will see you next Wednesday. More Surviving Mars? Probably not. Maybe I think on Wednesday we'll play a little Darkest Dungeon. Be good to get back to the dungeon. Yeah, probably Darkest Dungeon on Wednesday. If you want to join our Discord server, our mod Big J just dropped a link to it. Come by, hang out with us in Discord. Post-stream shenanigans tonight. We're going to be playing some Vermintide, crushing a few rat skulls. So if you want to get in on that, drop into the Discord and let us know. That's it for tonight, though. Have a great weekend. See you Wednesday. Toodles.